What is up, beautiful people? As always, this podcast is sponsored by our friends at Auto Skin Detail. Folks, they have made it easier than ever to get your car or truck cleaned up. Check out the easy-to-use link to directly book any service right from your phone. Look into their calendar, see the different services, and choose what's good for you. Let's go.
Yo, I'm just happy to be here.
I challenge everybody that listens to this to get out of your shell and go do something new and fun.
Happy to be here.
Like they just slow motion.
Do you see Zach trying to pretend like he doesn't watch cake sitting videos?
Happy to be here.
There to exorcise the demons.
So your swan man is
Our swan delivery man that brought us bomb pops and chicken nuggets is there to perform an exorcism.
This needs to be made into a short
You
film.
couldn't make this shit up.
Yo, I'm just happy to be here.
After that blunt, pretty toasty.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful day out.
warm, bro. It's nice, sunny. We're doing it early, bro. It's one of these early ones.
Oh yeah, we're here at noon in Spokane, Washington, on a Saturday.
On a Saturday.
boys.
Oh yeah, cheers.
We got some Merlin milk stout. Of course, guys. I should have brought a 12-pack, honestly.
Yeah, 6 is fine.
Yeah, I'll probably only have one or maybe two.
Oh goodness.
Oh,
a
you're already
thick
on
beer.
your second.
No.
This
This
is
your first.
This is a lunch beer right here, bro.
It's a lunch beer, baby. One of the things I wanted to talk about, something a little bit different than what we usually do, is, dude, I was reading this stuff about like a growth mindset versus like a fixed mindset, and like I'm just curious to kind of want to open the conversation to you guys and
Well,
just
explain what you
to
read.
just
What is
talk
it?
about.
What is it? Are you comparing them? Or
So like a fixed mindset.
getting out of one?
Yeah, just kind of exploring both. And because I just think that it's important. I think mindset is very important for people on just a day-to-day. Because it's the little things you do every day that gets us where we're trying to go in like a year, right? So like a fixed mindset is just like kind of what it sounds like. Like it's making excuses. It's you know what I mean? Like that's really what it is. Anytime something happens or you're not where you want to be, it's just like, oh well, it's because it wasn't my fault. I just because,
Right.
Or it's like just being cool with what you got, you know what I mean? And not wanting to like challenge yourself. And then a growth mindset is like trying to just like knowing what's best for you, which is probably putting challenges in front of ourselves. So that way we can like level up in a way, right?
Yeah.
And just always, and another part of that I think is very important is like being open to just learning and not being like the person that knows everything and like being the person that's like, tell me more about that.
Yeah.
Like put me on, like, not like, oh, well, like, just like, yeah, cool. Like just being so like, I want to know more. I want to learn, like, kind of a thing. So I'm interested because, usually obviously we're on this podcast, we're just bullshitting. We just talking about, we just bullshitting. And I think that it would be cool to kind of explore, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm just spitballing this thing. I'm just throwing. I didn't even plan this.
Sure.
This is just really how I'm feeling. What kind of things you guys do on a day-to-day basis in a mindset wise? Because I know that, we're all in our 30s. So we've all found the pitfalls of like the mindsets that we can get in that'll just either we just realize that 4 months went by and we're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What happened? What am I doing? And then the opposite, when you're really like focused and you have like a goal and then all of a sudden you're like seeing progress and happiness. I think that the key, especially in this podcast, happy to be here. That's why I wanted to bring this in was because it really is about being happy. I mean, what else is there to life if you're not enjoying it, right? I think that we're just trying to, like, this is a beautiful world that we live in. Beautiful, crazy, ugly, nasty, awesome world, right?
Chaotic, man.
Yeah, and we all just want to be happy. We all just want to feel good and wake up and enjoy every day. Kind of like when you were a kid and shit, and you had a weekend and you was just like, oh, hey, man, anything's possible. What's up?
I kind of remember though, like when you're younger and you know, time is like infinite to you. Like I remember so many just like biking all over to friends' houses and staying up all kinds of hours of the night and shit like that. You kind of look at it like, okay, bro, I got 2 days. And then it's back to school and back to chores and, you know, bullshit and all that stuff. I have to maximize. I got to maximize.
That's
this.
so true.
You know what I'm saying? Like we got to get as much shit in these 2 days.
Like I watched cartoons. I had cereal.
Yeah.
Because you're like, dude, when you woke up and you had the whole day and then the whole afternoon and then that Saturday night you were like, we're staying up midnight. We're drinking those Mountain Dews.
We're gonna beat a whole video game or what, you know. Yeah.
We're still up.
Yeah.
So what kind of changes do you think you guys have made since a kid to now? Like, do you guys still do that on a Saturday morning?
Well, so that's the thing is, you know, I feel like when you're closer to that, so when you was like 16, 17, 18, I was still like, you know, I didn't know what I was doing. I was still acting like a kid and you're just so backwards in your thinking. You know, it was just like, oh, I'm sure when I'm 30, I'll have it all figured out, you know? Mm-hmm. I wasn't thinking like, oh, if I don't do the work today, how is that going to get figured out? Mm-hmm. Oh, it'll just get it'll figure itself out.
You know,
And so you gotta go through the pain. This is another reason I wanted to bring this up because I know that all of us are people who have learned the hard way in a lot of different ways from whatever that is. You know, where it's just like we just fall and we're just like, okay, and you fall again. You're like, okay, well, I'm gonna try to not do that again. You know, And any way that we can put some game on this podcast to help. Other people maybe a little bit younger and they're just like, hey man, I just want to avoid the bullshit. I'm just trying to come up.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it's mindset. And I think one thing that I've done is I talk to myself and I'm real with myself. Mm-hmm. So I'll just be like, why are you thinking this way? Why are you acting like that? Why are you mad about this?
These are all internal conversations.
Conversations.
Just kind of holding yourself accountable though, like, and
right there,
being able to take that ownership of it. Cause it's so easy to just, you know, the shit happens and then, oh, well, fuck it, bro. We'll try harder next time. Or like, shit wasn't right on that one, you know.
Yeah, we let ourselves off too easy.
Exactly. But when you really kind of get introspective like that and can look at yourself and say, okay, well, why did I make that decision? Why was it so easy for me to let that go? Why didn't I make, because hindsight's 2020, obviously. So you're going to look back and be like, oh, I could have done this. I could have done that. I could have done that. But even in the moment when it's kind of like falling, you're like, yo, I'm smart enough. I could probably like fix this. But do you?
Yeah.
In some cases you don't. So I think being able to go back and kind of reflect and, you know, rewatch the game tape and see where the areas of improvement are and stuff is crucial in continuing to grow and actually doing a better job next time rather than just letting yourself off saying, oh, we'll try harder next time.
And that's the fixed mindset. Versus the growth mindset. The growth mindset, you really are interested in being like, well, I want to be better. How do I change these little things I'm doing to make myself better? Rather than when you let yourself off, you're just like, oh, it's cool. Oh, it's cool. And then it's like, it's just a fixed mindset, which isn't even like, you're not declining. You're not going backwards. You're just fixed. You're just right there.
Do we all agree everyone here has a growth mindset? Like, do you?
I have a growth mindset.
You too, Mike?
I bounce back and forth. I'll be completely honest with you. Mm-hmm. It's really easy to be.
I would say right now I have a growth mindset, but I also bounce back and forth. I think we all have our moments.
Yeah.
But right at this moment, right now, I have a growth mindset.
The way I look at it is I have a certain set of things that I will not let slip out of a growth mindset. And then there's other things I just don't battle, and I go with the fix.
There's levels to this.
Yeah,
shit.
like, you know, I'm a fixed mindset at the house. I'm not gonna sit there and say that everything's gotta be. This has to be. We have to upgrade the house.
Yeah.
You know, I let that go. I'll have versions of myself that go into the growth, and then I slide back. But then there's other things where they'll never go to fix. Like for instance, like I grew up, didn't have a lot of opportunity. I grew up, of course, in the Perry district, which was just the east side back in the day, and it wasn't this cool neighborhood. And so I had to naturally learn how to grow myself, you know. And then so like income wise and all that stuff, like I try to keep that at my absolute forefront. So if anything's ever with business or a way to level up, I take it super seriously and sometimes way too seriously.
So is that like a product of just being broke for so long?
Well, I'll be honest with you guys. You guys probably won't know this, and you know, it might be a shock, but I always was one of those people, like at a young age, where I struggled with thinking I'm definitely not going to like grow old. I'm going to like die young from something stupid or crazy.
Oh, damn.
You guys never had any of that in your head?
I've had that in my head just because I was doing dumb shit when I was younger. So
No,
there was a lot of
I-
times where I was just like, live fast, die young, doesn't really matter. Like,
So I had that as a child where I was always kind of thinking like, I'm going to go early from something crazy, something stupid, and then that gets stuck in your head. And so as an adult, that thought, could maybe some counseling could fix it, but that thought has never really been hashed out. And so my go has a lot to do with I don't know when the end is. Mm-hmm. And when the end happens to come at a young age, like I think, or I have thought in the past, that I'll have a nice, I'll have a nice cushion to leave with whoever's,
So do you still have that? Do you still
Every
have
day.
that?
Yeah.
You still think about that same thing?
every day.
you don't know when you're going to burn out. You got to burn bright.
Yeah,
Well, I
so
mean,
I just gotta burn, and my dad died at 54 from a heart attack, and my mom's sick too. So I mean, there's sickness in the family, and so it's just deep down, there's just something in me that's just like, not only is it not forever, but for some people, it's not half as long as what they think it is, and so naturally inside, like when I go to work and I see opportunity, I pounce on it. Because I'm thinking that you may not get this opportunity again. And that's just on like leveling up type of stuff. But there's other things that I can, there'll be an opportunity that jumps in front of my face and I just let it go right by because my priorities are kind of really ingrained and etched in stone at this point.
You can't sweat the small shit.
Nothing can kind of jump. Once you get up on those priorities, nothing can really jump higher than the few that are at the top.
And there's some things that you just get it to a level and then you just fix it right there. You're like, I can keep it at this level and this works.
Yeah,
and I don't need
focus on these other areas.
And I actually have to put myself in check more often than I don't have a problem with like seizing opportunity. I have more of an issue with expecting too much of a situation. You know what I mean? Being like, holy shit, like I'm like stopping all this stuff. We ain't eating, we barely drinking water. We trying to close this, we trying to buy this car. We trying to get to, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And really, I should be kind of weighing it a little bit.
Sometimes it's like, hey, just chill. Like it's
a
cool.
lot of time it doesn't pay out, but sometimes it does,
But see, that's your growth mindset right there. And I think that there's obviously so many levels. That was something that you just pointed out too. And what you said was so powerful about the time thing. And there's so many levels to this because it's like, you can be growing in your business and then there's like growing in your personal self, which is the one that I really want to tap into because it really is like, how can I get better? And I'm not talking about I get better at making more money, but just everything, right? Like how can I get better at communicating with my girlfriend? How can I get better at
communicating with people in general?
So all those things you have a growth attitude towards, of course.
Like I want to get better. If I get a little buzzed and then I say something stupid or I talk too much or something like that, just anything, like I'm always trying to be socially aware of how I'm acting, and I'm always just trying to I want to add to any room that I'm in.
Exactly.
I don't want to be in there
taking away,
or ruining or not contributing at all. That's the worst thing you could do is even if you don't leave a negative impression, you left no impression at all.
Yeah.
And that's my big thing with this whole fixed growth, variance or what have you. These last 2 years for me have been really tough because ever since I've started working from home, going out less, obviously, the pandemic was a big part of that and things are getting better now, but I had a hard, long road to kind of change my mindset to operate in a situation like that. So a lot of things just became fixed because I was just like kind of coasting on autopilot because there's no responsibility or obligation to the outside world really outside of a few things.
I think COVID did that to everybody.
Yeah, and so one thing that I've been doing really is at the start of 2022 especially, and I did the bullshit thing where for the last couple months of 2021, you're eating more, it's the holidays, you're thinking, oh, that new year, that resolution, whatever, I'll start then.
And working from home is tough.
Yeah, so I did that same thing. I was just kind of coasting, just getting the bare minimum done and not putting a whole lot of effort in. And since the start of 2022, like I was talking with my wife about it, and we both need to get in better shape. A lot of our problems really boil down to the energy that we have. because at the end of the day, after doing the shit with the kids, we have time to lay down in bed, maybe watch a half-hour show together, and then one of us is passed out because we got to get up early. She's got to get up with the baby. I got to get up for work. And so trying to break out of those patterns and stuff, like a couple weeks ago, it's still sitting in the garage. I got to clean it up, but I went and bought an elliptical machine. I was like pricing gym memberships, and I'm like, fuck it, dude. We have a set of free weights. We have a bench. Like, I'll just go get a couple other things.
I'm telling you that I love the gym thing. I think that's awesome. The hardest thing about a gym is that you have to go to the gym.
Yeah.
And if you're for me, I'm kind of a lazy person where if I can make it as convenient as possible, then I'll do it. But if it's like I gotta get my gym bag and I get it in a car and I gotta get there and I gotta really like the gym. I gotta really like the gym to just do that all the time, because I'll do it like once and then it'll be the next week.
To have it right there in the house, to be able to like take a break on lunch from work and go hit some the treadmill or hit some reps really quick.
Pick some stuff up.
And I think that's really, for us at least, that's where the core of it comes from, is rebuilding that energy to have the strength to do it all in a day, because we put the kids to bed around 8 or 9, so I'm asleep by like 10 or 10:30 pretty much every night.
Damn, that's late for me.
But I know we talk a lot about how much sleep is important, and it's important to me too, just like it is you. I gotta have that sleep. But like the other night when I told you, I said fuck it and stayed up till midnight to finish the edit on an episode and get like some business done I needed to do. That's the first time in a long time I've done that. And I look at other successful people, like TS is a big influence, and he goes nights without sleep to do his shit. And I'm not ready to do 7 nights a week with no sleep and go like super, super hard. But it shows me, it's like if I had just a little bit more energy and a little bit more like oomph to put behind myself, I would have more hours in the day to like handle the business I need to handle without leaving it to the last minute. So there
might be like like an intermittent fasting type of a thing. Isn't that that's what you do right now?
Well, that's the goal.
Who were we talking about last night? Does Maria do that, or
no? So what I do is I just try to drink black coffee in the morning, and I make a smoothie that I'm trying to like dial in and get all the fruit out of, and just have like a smoothie that's like really good for me, all the stuff I need in it.
Like forget the taste. I make anyway. We can explain what's in it later. But what I would like to do is I drink coffee through the morning, and I really don't start the smoothie till about 11 o'clock. And if I'm there at 7:30, you get a good chunk. All you have to do is eat your dinner before 7 p.m., which is still pretty late.
Yeah, it's really not that bad.
You know what I mean? And if you can do that, that's just simple math. If you can do that, you eat by 7, and then you don't start getting any calories in your body other than coffee, which is debatable. Yeah. Until about 11, you just put in a strong fast every night, because I'm counting the time I'm sleeping, obviously not eating.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going 16.
14
hours.
Yeah.
That's
and then my eating windows.
It is 16.
16 hours. And then my eating window is smaller. And then my first eat is a lean smoothie. Boom. And then I skip the lunch because the smoothie is just sticking to you. And then you get to dinner. You kind of splurge on dinner as long as it's before 7. Now if you're trying to lose weight, that'll drop pounds real quick. Drink a bunch of water and just do exactly that.
I was going to ask you about the water piece.
The water is huge.
With the coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you drink water?
I started doing, that's changed. I do multivitamins in the morning, and I do like a 20-ounce water first thing in the morning, and then
before your coffee.
Yep. And then I replace water with, every time I take a piss, I fill my water up. I chug as much as I can uncomfortably real quick, and then I go back to work.
Water is huge. It kills the hunger.
I'm still not good at getting
you drink coffee.
So actually, I was going to tell you about that.
You don't drink black coffee.
So no, I don't do black coffee.
Hot coffee.
I can't drink black coffee, but we have a coffee maker, and I used to do like the coffee creamers and all that shit. We would go to like URM and get white chocolate powder.
Oh wait, you can
caramel.
Do hot coffee or no?
So I can drink a hot cup of coffee. That's fine. Like one hot cup of coffee is not going to like kill me. It's not that I can't. It's just that it gives me the bubble guts, bro. It's just going to make me shit.
But then if you have iced coffee, no problem.
Iced coffee, no problem. So I was doing iced coffee for a while with like powders and syrups and all this sugary shit. And then we scaled back to just doing like coffee creamer from the store. And that's still too like sweet. So I switched to doing, I put a little bit of half and half in the black coffee and like a scoop of brown sugar. Cause it's, it's like straight up sugar. And I was doing that for about a month. I shake it up in a mason jar. I felt all hipster about it and shit. It was really good, bro. It was like a good
good?
Good little brown sugar latte. But I just decided, bro, I'm like doing half and half every morning in a big scoop of brown sugar. Even if it's brown sugar, it's still a big fucking scoop of sugar. Yeah. So what I did is I switched to this. It's a powder-based like energy beverage that's 0 calories. It has caffeine and vitamins in it and fruit powders in it, and that's like it. It's
and you just drink that for the morning instead of coffee.
I've switched to that for about a month now, almost. I have not had a coffee for a single day.
Really?
Yep. Haven't had any coffee.
Off to coffee.
And pretty much haven't had any milk either, other than in cooking, because the only place I would have milk
this beer
is in the only place I would have milk is in my coffee in the morning.
You guys do real milk at home?
Oh yeah, we do real milk. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I definitely do, dude. I'm a sucker. I do the black. I can't drink my coffee black. And my buddy, shout out to Josh, love you, bro. He was like, man, I'm telling you, you can just get like, he was telling me different ways where you can kind of like get used to the black coffee taste and stuff like that. And I just love the coffee mate. I just get a little bit of I'm a basic B, man. I just got the French vanilla, just a little bit, just enough to just cover the bottom of the mug.
Okay.
And then it's black coffee in there. And so it's just like that kind of like darker brown, and I just get that, baby. And I'll hit 3 of those.
There you go.
And I'll try to just hit 3 of those. I get up at 5 a.m. and I hit that. I'm the type of guy that I try to set the coffee the night before.
Yeah.
So you just wake up in the morning, hit the button,
and it's good to go.
Yeah.
Shout out my wife. My wife sets the coffee maker up the night before. I haven't had coffee in about a month, but when I was having coffee without her,
you just like bink,
so easy.
And then just like hit the shower, get out the shower, coffee's ready. Okay, cool.
Yeah, nice. Wait until 11. Because I get up at 5 every morning.
Me too.
No, this is if you want to lose weight.
Well, no, I'm saying when I do want to lose weight, bro. But I'm saying from getting up at 5 and waiting until 11 to eat is a tough one for me. But what I've been doing, we got these like real peanut butter protein bars from the Costco, and they got like peanut butter and flax seed and a bunch of like
good shit.
Good shit in them. They're all organic. You have to keep them in the fridge because they'll go bad if they're not in the fridge. And it's a bunch of protein, and I'll usually have one of those right around 8 or 9. And I'm usually not eating past 7. So I'm going almost 13, 14 hours.
This isn't a thing that like
14.
Like
14's good. 14 is fine.
Is good.
14 is,
and then to just have like a protein bar and then not eat again until a lunch.
Dude, 14 is what I was doing. I was doing 14, and it was. Dude, it's really, if you can just get it. I think the biggest piece of it isn't the morning piece. I think the biggest piece is the night piece.
Yeah.
If you can just not eat past 8, which is going to stop you from an ice cream, or like me and my girl love
nudge your hours back to 5 or something, and it's and then you can eat earlier.
I couldn't do 5 because we can't get dinner on the table till 6:30 a lot of nights. So like 7 is good.
So the thing is, like, me and my girl love to just it's easy. I feel like to get in that habit to like, let's get some ice cream.
Yeah.
Like, and just get into like desserts every night, baby. Yep. I want desserts every night. Yeah, I want a bowl of cereal, or I want some Skittles, or I want a shake, or I want like every night.
Right after dinner, when the evening is winding down, that's when me and my wife will usually sneak off to the garage to take a little hit of something. And right after that, it's like, okay, is the Ben and Jerry's in the freezer? Like, I got caught up at the store the other day because they had cookie mix that was Dunkaroo cookies and the Dunkaroo frosting from when you're kids. Baby. Yeah, I was like, okay. I'm sorry. I went home, made a batch of cookies, and spread the frosting on them and shit. And it's just that type of shit happens only during like those
whether
sad
it's Oreos,
hours, 7:30,
whether
8
it's
o'clock,
anything. If I got it in the house, I'm gonna eat it. So
I can't have it at the house anymore.
Can't have it at the house. But it's like, I don't know, dude. Like I seriously, I feel. Fuck, dude! I had a pinched nerve in my arm. Have you guys ever done that? Where you just
I did that trying to sled with my daughter a couple weeks ago. I went to go push myself on the sled and hadn't done any like activity in that arm for a while, and my arm straight up like locked up on me and like, felt that pinch. I was like,
because this was like days that I could just like, if I moved it like that, it would be like just a sharp, like a pinching pain in there.
What do you think you did?
I think, dude, I sleep so weird.
You like contort your body.
I sleep on my stomach, and I sleep with like arms, like I'm sleeping.
That's something about being in the fetus where like I swear, like I do my wrists. For some reason, I completely damage my wrist. Blood. I will like I'll wake up in the morning. No, I'll wake up in the morning like My wrists
did I
will
do?
hurt. Yeah, because
fall on
I'll
a
just let
skateboard?
them curl and like, you know what I mean? It's just this weird thing
that we do when we sleep.
Like sometimes if I'm sitting
But
there
it's
watching a
comfortable
movie,
when you're.
if I'm sitting there watching a movie, I'll be like rolling my ankle hella hard. And I'll
Really?
have to
Yeah.
catch myself. Like,
Well, it's like it's
Yeah,
okay
I
to
started
stretch it
doing
out,
that too.
but
you know what I mean?
But no, I sleep mostly on the stomach. I'm like a side sleeper, but I got like a little body pillow. There's a big oversized pillow that I put my leg over and shit. So it's like almost on my stomach, but my problem is like this arm will go like up under the pillow, and I'll like be like laying on my arm all night, and then my arm will get in like weird positions.
I feel
and
like
stuff.
it's
And
when
I
it
always wake
sta-
up with a fucked up shoulder.
when it stays there, like it's okay for it to stay there for a little bit, but when it's there for hours,
No good.
That's
No
when it's
good.
something bad's happening. Like it's gonna, and dude, I've been waking up with a fucked up neck or an arm or
just getting
something.
old.
I don't
That's
like
true.
it, bro. I'm like, do I need a new bed? Do I need a new body? I don't know.
Both.
I've actually been supplementing with the vitamins just recently in the last, I'd say 10 days. I've had vitamin D3, the 5,000 IUs,
Yeah,
and
5,000.
then the B12.
I don't take any vitamins, guys. You guys
got
gotta
to.
put me on.
And-
I do a multivite that's got all that shit in it, and then this new like caffeine drink powder that I've got has all that shit in it too. It's got like A, B,
So what
C,
do I
D.
need? What
But
do I
I've noticed, I noticed
What do
that
I
after
need?
taking the vitamins, I do wake up in a little bit less pain, and I just try to stretch before bed and stuff. But
I need to
we're not going to
stretching.
pretend like we know what you need. Just go into super supplements.
You need 5,000 of vitamin
You
D
go in-
because you live in the Pacific Northwest and you don't get enough
I was
sun.
gonna say, have you seen super supplements? They're gonna be like, you need everything.
Yeah,
How much
no,
money you got?
No, that's
so
not how
basically,
it is.
you need a multivite if you can get it. I get like the gummy multivite from Costco, and it works.
We
for
gonna
grown-ups.
give vitamin advice.
Absolutely,
Hey,
bro.
okay,
You need
okay.
vitamin D, and the only other thing I'm gonna tell you need is you need them fish oils, bro.
Look
you
at
need
me,
them
bro.
fatty acids.
Look at me.
Those
I need
omega-3s.
vitamin D. I'm getting
If you did a vitamin D in a fish oil, you'd feel fucking phenomenal.
So that's where I was on the
'Cause you don't
fish
need
oil.
enough fish.
I felt like I need oily fish. We were talking about this,
Yeah.
and then Maria was actually putting me on game.
They say you don't need that.
Well, that there's other things that have
Yeah.
like just eating
Fit-
like a lot of avocado
Yeah.
and a lot of
Yeah.
like flaxseed,
Those natural oils, bro.
shit like that.
Yeah.
So
It'll lubricate the body, bro.
because I'm like, dude, my roommate cooked up a fish the other day, and that is just it does something to the house where you're just like,
It depends on how you cook it.
who done it?
Yeah, that's rude of you.
It depends on how you cook it, man. Yeah, I remember working in an office. That's the one thing we had signs on all the microwaves. Don't microwave fish.
Oh my God. Because I was just talking to somebody who had that same issue where they were going into the break room and someone was cooking up some calamari
Yeah.
or something like that. Like you can't just be cooking up some squid in the fucking.
Like the one, like if you had some teriyaki from last night and you had like a couple shrimps in the bowl, I'll forgive it because shrimps don't usually go off like that. But like a tilapia or like some shit. I remember working in the office. Love them to death. They have awesome cuisine and awesome stories to tell. We had a couple of like coworkers that were from like the Ukraine, and it was fish every day. It was just fish every day, like fish falling off the bone, fish that still had eyes on it.
Every day.
Fish every day, bro.
I don't like that. I can't even fuck with you probably if you
I'm
eat
like,
that
I
much
get
fish.
that it's a part of your diet, you know.
That's
like,
a lot of fish.
Go for it, but you're gonna have to learn to eat it cold or something. Cause
You need to get some.
make a fish salad one time.
Damn, dude. You need some faux fish. That's what you need.
It's all a
Faux
culture
fish.
thing. My wife's mom, she'll come up and make some fish sometimes.
Lots of
And, yeah,
fish?
I don't eat fish, so of course
So you don't eat fish at all?
no. Well, I mean, I eat white fish.
Okay, what's that? Like what kind of?
halibut, king clip,
Ooh,
cod,
halibut,
that type of stuff.
And then what is salmon is that
Pink, that's a pink fish.
Yeah,
it's a pink fish.
I just can't. You know when you eat fish and it tastes like ocean fishy fish.
yeah,
I
that's
can't do
that's
that.
salmon, right?
Yeah,
Salmon,
trout,
it
bass,
depends. Like
all
good
that stuff tastes
teriyaki
like that.
salmon or like good smoked.
You
salmon.
like trout?
No, trout,
trout,
bass, salmon, fucking calamari, shrimp, all that stuff tastes like the water.
I do it all, bro.
So I
Calamari,
definitely,
shrimp, crab,
when I was a kid,
fish
ate a
sticks.
lot of bass and a lot of trout because that's what
Yeah.
we were fishing
That's
for.
it. I can't catch the fish that you. I can't eat the fish that you catch. That's basically very simple.
So where do you
thing.
get a halibut? Is that like Alaska?
You go to the Rosehars.
I know, but where do you catch it in the wild?
You catch it in a Rosehars.
It's the ocean. Well, you said where do you get it,
take
not where do you
that
catch
one.
it.
Yeah, where do you catch it? You catch it in the ocean?
Yeah,
This is an
think so.
ocean
Yeah.
fish?
Yeah.
Halibut.
Freshwater fish, maybe.
Where am I
not sure.
catching this fish at?
Oh, halibut is it can be found in Alaska. It can be found in the Atlantic,
okay,
the
fish and
Pacific.
chips.
I think halibut is kind of
Fish
in all
and-
the oceans. Yeah.
Yeah, like fish
Is
and
it a
chip
big
style
fish?
fish. They don't give you trout when they do fish and chips.
No, it's like cod or
you need a
halibut or
big
something.
chunk of white fish to
Yeah.
get fish
Oh, I
and
can
chips.
fuck with
That's
that.
what I can.
And is
eat.
that healthy for you? That's
That's good for
I
you.
mean,
not
it
breaded
ain't-
and fried.
Yeah, but that
Am I
I'm
getting
not-
my fish oils? Because they told me to eat oily fish,
You
and I'm like,
shouldn't
what
be
kind of
eating
fish is that?
is what I hear, but I'm no.
Yeah, because of all the metals and all the weird
Yeah.
shit
Well,
that's
yeah,
happening
they
in the
say you
ocean.
shouldn't, you
The
shouldn't be,
fucking-
especially since the
Fukushima?
Fukushima leak. Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
And so if you
all
need
the
to,
radiation.
might get a power though, dude. I might fucking I might become Wolverine.
That shrimp Hulk.
yeah, it just depends.
I might
it
get
just
that
depends
shrimp
on-
dick, bro. Like shit, dog. They hit you in the wrong spot, son. You fucked up. You got the wrong
shit,
superpower. I got the smallest, most powerful dick in the world.
Flop
Watch
That
out.
little
out.
jackhammer.
What was it from Men in Black? The
noisy cricket?
The noisy cricket.
That noisy cricket, bro. Oh, that micro fucking juggernaut.
Dude, we got some Matisse's releases?
Yeah, we got some shit. We can get into it.
Matisse's releases.
I want to start off with some incredible news. Your uncle, everyone's uncle, Snoop Dogg, has purchased the rights to Death Row Records. Snoop Dogg started on Death Row, was then off of Death Row, and like 30 years later, the man's got money out the ass and can do whatever he wants. So he now owns Death Row Records.
That's awesome.
There's like old video of him when he was in his like early 20s talking about one day I'm gonna own Death Row.
So who did he buy it from?
Talk about speaking it to existence. Whoever owns it, probably some like, white record exec or something. Who knows? Spotify probably owns it. Who the fuck knows? There was at some point. Wait a minute. No. You want to know what? I actually do know who owned it. I don't know if this is who Snoop Dogg purchased it from directly, but this is wild when I tell you, because you would never guess who owned Death Row Records up until recently.
Okay.
Hasbro Toys, the
Really?
toy company that makes Transformers, owned the rights to Death Row Records. Because I remember everyone was making jokes for a while about like a Tupac Transformer and shit. They're like, wouldn't it be dope if Hasbro used the Death Row line to come out with like a bunch of like, transforming
Adult
action?
Transformers,
Yeah,
dude.
exactly.
I love that.
Should have done it, Hasbro. You fucked up. Now it's on Snoop. But he dropped an album called Back on Death Row, BODR. And it's for an old ass rapper. He sounds like he's got all the energy in the world.
And wait, hold on. So did he actually drop didn't he drop an album before this?
So he dropped an album earlier in this year that was like a compilation mixtape style album that mostly featured other people. Like it had Method Man and Redman on a track. It had Fabulous on a track.
Bro.
It was basically, his goal was like take classic artists that he really fucked with, like Method and Red and like Fabulous and stuff, and then link them up with newer artists that are kind of in that same vein. Like the song he had was Fabulous and Dave East.
I loved that song.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it was a really good pairing. I can't remember who was on the Method Man and Redman track, but it was someone newer. So it was his whole idea of like bridging the gap of like who is dope from like the old guard and then like new cats as well.
Oh, I love
but
it.
this is just a straight up Snoop Dogg album called Back on Death Row.
No features?
Tons of features, bro. Tons of features. What are you talking about? It's Snoop Dogg. It's Snoop Dogg. But it's that classic West Coast G-Funk Snoop Dogg. He's got, people singing and doing like the R&B hooks and stuff like that. And it's just classic, like gangsta ass Snoop Dogg. Sometimes he branches out and does different shit. This is him back to like having braids in the hair, like young, killing it Snoop Dogg. And it's crazy for a man that is at his current age bracket that smokes as much weed as he smokes to come through with like that much of a punch and that much energy. He's got a song with Nas called Conflicted. And Nas kills the verse. It was really nice to hear a couple of MCs from that generation that I haven't really heard link up on many other tracks. I've never heard really a Snoop and Nas track before that I can think of.
No.
Snoop says something about I can't remember what the rhyme is, but he says I met some gangsters from the East Coast up in Spokane. Yeah, so he shouts out Spokane in the song. So apparently we got East Coast gangsters living in Spokane that know
Really?
Snoop Dogg that are probably stoked to get a shout out.
Cordell Drake?
Hey, it could be Cordell Drake. I see him on the East Coast. But yeah, so he's got a feature with Nas that's sick. Did you listen to that Crip Ya Enthusiasm?
No, I didn't.
You didn't listen to that?
No, I didn't.
Man, he literally samples the theme song from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
The whole song?
Like
the beat?
Yes, the beat. The fucking
Is it good?
It's such a weird flip, and the song is like it's more funny than anything that he turned it into like a good song. I wouldn't put it on the playlist, but like the fact that he flipped that sample and did Crip Ya Enthusiasm.
So what did you put on the playlist? Was it the Nas
what I
song?
put on the playlist, I believe I put the Nas song, or no, I put a song called Coming Back on there, which is just like, it's like the intro to the album, and he's got like the G-Funk sound and the vocoder on the vocals, like old California Love type shit, and it's just that West Coast G-Funk
Just
shit.
him?
Yeah, it's him and like singing on the hook from somebody. Like, you know when you used to have like Uncle Charlie come through and you know, like
yes.
that type of singing, that Snoop.
I'm so excited to listen.
Yeah, he's also got a really good feature from Nate Dogg on there. He's got a Nate Dogg hook.
Dude, I was going to ask.
It's always that's what makes it a Snoop Dogg album. If you got Nate Dogg in the house or Dre in the
I'm going to
house,
cry, bro, if I think about it too
I'm
much.
telling you, bro.
We miss Nate Dogg.
So definitely check that out. It's called Back on Death Row. That's the new album from Snoop. That was really it as far as albums recently that got me. I know Dr. Dre dropped some shit on Spotify finally that wasn't really an album, but it was like the 6 songs he did for Grand Theft Auto, a lot of which are really good with Anderson .Paak and stuff. As far as singles go, Pusha T came back with his new song Diet Coke. The video is sick. It's very minimal. It's black and white. It's him and Kanye West just dancing around a couch. It's kind of an homage to Craig Mack, Flavor in Your Ear, the old video, if you're familiar with that song. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, Pusha T is like, he really doesn't have shit to prove at this point. You can't out-rap him if the subject is cocaine.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen.
He's going to rap about cocaine.
You know that Pusha T is going to rap about cocaine.
Yo, it reminded me of like 2012 Pusha T.
Yes,
like
bro.
that.
Yeah. I really wish that Malice would just like, it's all good if you want to love Jesus, but the changing your name to No Malice and saying I'm not going to rap about coke anymore is really, it just is. It's obviously why you haven't really heard much from him.
Yeah.
He dropped one album as No Malice, and I listened to it because I wanted to hear him rap. And he's not rapping about coke anymore. He's rapping about how he doesn't rap about coke anymore. But if he was going to rap about coke, here's a cool coke punchline. But so he's still doing clips, but he's like trying to disguise it as like, this used to be my life, you know? Like,
Well, I mean, everybody really is. I mean, last time I was really cued in to Pusha T was during the Drake shit.
Oh, the Drake
when he
Pusha
was
T
like
shit? Yeah.
calling his son's name out in those diss records.
yeah, that
and
was
stuff.
heavy.
That was heavy. That was
Which
crazy.
is why it's weird because like Kanye and Drake just like squashed their beef and did a concert together, and now you got Kanye in the Pusha T video. He produced the song, I imagine, which is sick
Love
that
the
Kanye
beat.
can still make beats like that.
Love that
That's
beat.
amazing. But he's got these wild ass boots on that don't fit him. They're huge boots, and he's just Kanye is really out and he's new boot goofing, bro. He's out there just getting in his new boots.
Dude, he is like transcending fashion. He's like, you think it looks weird? Don't believe me, just watch. He's like, these people are gonna be wearing these boots 10 years from now, and you're gonna look at me like,
The man's a genius. It's undisputable. But you know he made up with Drake and squashed that whole shit. But now it's fuck Pete Davidson. So you know that is wild to me that in 2022 there is a verse from Kanye West where he straight up says he's going to beat Pete Davidson's ass. I can't remember what song it was that he featured on. It was recently that it came out. But Kanye West in the verse like, and Pete Davidson, I'll beat your ass or some shit like that. I'm like, bro, if you're shouting Pete Davidson out in a diss record, I have some bad news. Pete Davidson won.
I think that Kim and Pete and Kanye are all in on this together, and they're like, we're just gonna play this out, and you just say fuck Pete Davidson and tell me you're gonna beat his ass, and like this is just literally everybody
content.
will be like, holy shit, like oh my god, but everybody knows that like Kanye is not gonna punch Pete Davidson in the face, like nobody's anticipating. Like the baby says fuck Pete Davidson better watch out,
bro.
because the baby will show up and he'll have a cast on his arm and his leg, and he'll fucking
Find
beat
him
the
anyway.
shit out of you, bro. Yeah. Dude, when that dude beating that dude up in the bowling lanes, god damn.
Yeah,
dude.
he goes that man. That man. Side note: there is a song on the Snoop Dogg album that features DaBaby. So do with that information what you will. But he's putting DaBaby on. So you know.
Sorry.
That shit's wild, man. I can't even keep up with it. Although that's what I was gonna say. Kanye can't really be thinking that much about Pete and Kim. He's with Julia Fox now. You know who that is?
I think
That
Pete,
girl from
Kim,
Uncut Gems?
Julia Fox, Kanye. I think they're all just fucking each other in all sorts of
More
different
power to them.
facets.
Baby.
The baby's hopping in
The
there.
baby's fucking everybody.
He's gonna
bro.
beat something up,
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, guaranteed. As far as other releases go, Mary J. Blige, she just dropped a new album, Good Morning Gorgeous. And Mary J. Blige hasn't really done much with music. You might have seen her on some seasons of Power, the new Power. If you're still into the Power cinematic universe. Mary J. Blige has mostly been acting, and she's been killing it. So obviously she hasn't really lost a step when it comes to music or any of that type of shit. The new album was really good. Notable songs on that. She's got a song with Anderson .Paak called "Here With Me," and Anderson .Paak, he's like. I know as a white dude, okay, I love ranch dressing, but he's good on everything, bro. He's the ranch dressing of fucking features, bro, in my opinion. Or whatever you think is good on everything, sriracha or whatever, bro. He's that to anything. You add him to that, it's gonna make it a more complete meal. So that track with them, they've got some really nice harmonies going back and forth. It's got a really like West Coast bounce in the sample that just gets you nodding your head. And then she's got another song called Rent Money with Dave East. To mention Dave East again, he's always really consistent with his releases. That's like gym music to the fullest, just like motivational energy, like get you going music. So Dave East is always good for that. But yeah, Mary, most importantly, obviously ready to fucking go kill it at the Super Bowl here coming up for her performance.
Tomorrow.
I can't tell you who's playing in the Super Bowl. I have no idea who the fuck is playing, but I can tell you I'm ready to watch this halftime show. I'm
know.
so excited.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, damn. And it was Dr. Dre, Mary J. Blige, Snoop, Eminem, Kendrick.
And Kendrick. Wow. We haven't heard from Kendrick in so long.
Wow.
We have not heard anything from Kendrick.
You think there'll be new music?
No.
He's going to do
Super Bowl?
Bitch, Don't Kill My Vibe.
There's a rumor that he's dropping
love
something
yourself.
before the Super Bowl.
But he didn't.
Well,
He's-
it could come out today.
That
Or
he's what?
it could come out literally an hour before the Super
That
Bowl.
what?
That he's dropping a song.
Kendrick is
a
going to
single.
drop some new
I
music.
mean, it would be. I think that if you were absent and silent, kind of as long as Kendrick has been quiet, and you're going to be performing in the Super Bowl, it would be crazy to not put something there.
Yeah.
I mean, you
yeah.
can pop yourself right back up to being relevant.
I mean, because he's already he's one of those guys that's just embedded in relevance of hip hop. Like,
Well, obviously, he hasn't dropped a project in fucking 5 years, and
because that's how the
everyone
greats
talks about it.
That's how the greats do it.
I see Schoolboy hasn't dropped in a while either. He's out playing PGA golf.
With Macklemore.
Yeah, and Bill Murray and shit. Him and Bill Murray played in the same tournament just the other weekend.
Dude, I love what Macklemore's doing with that Bogey Boys.
That Bogey
Have
Boys,
you guys seen
yeah.
that?
Is it golf too?
It's just
It's golf attire.
attire, dude.
Oh, nice.
It's
Yeah,
like classy.
it's great.
yeah,
Genius.
It's perfect for Macklemore's
Genius.
brand.
Genius.
Genius. But yeah, everyone thought that Kendrick was gonna drop something on Friday for new release day going into the Super Bowl. I saw a couple people on Twitter were like, "I'm unfollowing Kendrick if he doesn't drop shit tomorrow." And then a bunch of people, "I'm a man of my word. Unfollow." So he's losing followers over it now. But anyways, that's neither
That's
here.
funny.
Yeah, so
he doesn't
I'm
care.
excited for this Super Bowl shit. I'm excited to hear some new shit from all these people, and I hope that they bring out special guests, bro. What happened to special guests at the Super Bowl? People you didn't expect.
Mm-hmm.
I need them to bring out Schoolboy for a verse. I need them to bring out crazy people, bro. Bring out DLC.
Bring out crazy.
Bring out Devin the Dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm just trying to fuck you at the Super Bowl, bro.
Just for a quick one.
Yeah, I'm just trying to do the editing if you got to. Finally on the music releases, there's a song by this guy Fivio Foreign. I don't know how to say his name. He featured a lot on Kanye West's most recent album Donda, and had really solid verses. He's really on that New York shit and just going hard with it, bragging a bunch, but has bars and it gets you hyped. So I fuck with him. He is not wasting his moment in the spotlight at all. He's fresh off that Kanye album feature, which kind of put his name in people's mouths. He's got an album coming out soon called Bible. It's it's got periods between the letters. I don't know what Bible stands for, but it stands for something. But it's called Bible. And he just dropped a new song called City of Gods with Kanye and with Alicia Keys singing the hook. It's a sample from an old Chainsmokers song. I don't really listen to Chainsmokers, but Alicia Keys is singing this hook stuff. New York City, please go easy on me tonight. Like, it's just, she sings it way better than I can sing it, but it's very it's like haunting and melodic, and the way that Ye has like flipped the sample for the beat is sick. Fivio is really just like talking his shit on his verse about being king of New York and saying, you know, he shouts out Pop Smoke, who was another more influential artist from his area in New York that passed away. He said, Pop used to be king, but now it's me, and basically just telling you can't fuck with him. But the way that he's rapping really sounds like it like charged Kanye up with a battery or something, because Kanye is spitting some shit that's like 2010 Cruel Summer Kanye, like don't give a fuck Kanye, say whatever he's gonna say Kanye, which he always kind of is, but it's nice when it's actually like super on beat and lyrical. Ooh. And he's you know, he talks about how like you know, you want the old Kanye. He says something about like, I could go back to college, drop an album and drop out of college again, or some shit like that, like saying I could give you that if you want, but I'm doing some new shit. So, you know, like basically shouting all that shit out.
I love that.
Yeah, and the way that Alicia Keys sings on this hook, I swear to God, mark my words, you will hear this song in movie trailers and commercials for like the next 10 years. It's just like one of those songs that's going to end up, you know, put behind movies and shit like that.
What's the song?
It's called City of Gods.
City of
and
Gods.
It's Fivio Foreign, Kanye West, and Alicia Keys.
Oh.
Yep, all of this is on the Matisse's Releases playlist that I keep on Spotify. I update it every week. I'm always posting the new releases. I just started doing a new format where I'm kind of breaking down a little bit more about each release, so you kind of know if you want to listen to it up front before you click on it. So definitely check me out on the Instagram, Islo Matisse, and follow Matisse's Releases on Spotify. I got some entertainment news if y'all are interested.
Let's get it.
A couple of things. I want to start off with the bad news, with the sad news. I know it's happy to be here, but I got one bit of sad news. It's more of a PSA than anything. The results came back. I don't know if y'all saw. We now know officially how Bob Saget died.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So rest in peace, Bob Saget. We love you. He's America's father. Bob Saget bumped his noggin. He knocked his head on something.
I heard that.
And he didn't go get checked out. He thought it was no big deal. He went and laid down in the hotel room and died from a brain bleed. So wasn't drugs, wasn't alcohol, wasn't any of these things that you don't want to hear killed one of your favorite people. But my advice is, regardless of your age or the tenderness of your noggin, if you bonk it against something, go get looked at. Don't just go to sleep on that shit and think it's going to be okay. We lost Bob Saget.
Damn, that sucks.
So keep
Good
your
message.
head good.
Keep
your head up.
Yeah.
And if you hit it,
Good
go
message.
get checked.
That's right.
Go get checked.
That is
Go
right.
get checked.
And go get yourself checked for STDs, too, while you're at it.
That's true.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Just
get
go.
that.
Yeah, and worms.
Get
Check
your
yourself for
noggin check,
worms.
the COVID check, the STD check, all that shit.
Yo.
Stay up on it.
Yo.
In happier news, I like cartoons, and I'm excited to hear that Futurama has been revived again by Hulu. One of my favorite shows. It's a great show. It's one of those shows that you throw on when you're going to bed at night, and you might watch an episode and a half, but it's always just like comfort food, you know? It's real good, and it stayed really consistent. It's crazy to see the journey that show has taken, because it was on Fox initially, way back when. I think it came out in like 2002 initially, and it ran for 4 seasons before they canceled it. Then in like 2008, they were like, oh, we're going to do more Futurama, and they did 4 feature-length movies that they just put straight to DVD and straight on TV. It was like 4 like movies that were supposed to give you more story and like end the story for the characters, since they got canceled before they could end it on Fox. So they did 4 movies, and then the 4 movies were so popular that Comedy Central in like 2010 decided, well, we're going to bring Futurama back, and they brought it back for 2 seasons and then canceled it. And so now this will be the 4th time, which has to be a record, that a television show has been brought back from the dead.
They're bringing it
on
back.
another channel. They just keep reanimating its corpse.
As long as they keep the same animators and the same writers on the show, that's...
So animators and writers are important. Let me tell you what's also very important to a show like that. Voice actors.
Oh.
And
that's true.
All of the voice actors have agreed to do the show, with the exception of the voice of the robot Bender, John DiMaggio. He is one of the most famous voice actors working. You probably never heard his name. Maybe you have. But he's done voices for shit that you've watched. I guarantee it. And his name in the voice acting community is huge. He's like a superstar, essentially. And it's bringing up a conversation of why voice actors aren't treated the same as regular actors, because they are currently in a breakdown of contract negotiations, and he is not going to be coming back to doing the voice of arguably the most popular character on the show.
Yeah.
And they're looking at recasting the character. Which, if you can find someone that does a competent impression, I guess
That's what you need.
You
You
pay them
can't
less?
change his voice, though.
I mean, look at Journey.
But by the same token,
that Asian dude is the lead singer, and people are like, I never fucking knew.
here's the difference.
Really?
The lead singer of Journey died.
No, okay,
He didn't just quit. You know what I'm saying?
True,
if the voice of Bender was dead.
Yes.
But here's the problem. They wanted to pay all the actors the same.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
They went to all the voice actors and said, we're going to pay you this much. And the voice actors for the other characters said, sure, that sounds fair. Sure, that sounds fair. And then John was like, I'm big shit. Like, I deserve more than this. What I bring to the show, the fact that it's going to be more profitable having me there, like I'm the character people fuck with the most. I don't think I'm being greedy and asking for you to pay me more fairly.
Yeah.
But now Hulu's in a situation where they're like, well, fuck, if we pay him more, now we got to go back and pay
So
these
that's
other
what
guys
it
more.
is?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. So he just doesn't want it. He just wants to get paid more.
He wants to get paid what he's worth.
And you can't replace him, right? If he's still alive, and he's like, but if, you know what I mean?
There's
Good
a
for
lot
him.
of people that will boycott the show if he is not part of
Good
it. And
for
that's what I'm
him.
saying. It's bringing up, because in the same thing that you're mentioning, Queen has a new Adam Lambert. He's some guy from American Idol a couple years ago that won. He's the new lead singer of Queen. And you can go to Vegas and see Queen with Adam Lambert as the lead singer. Freddie Mercury's dead. He has no say in the matter.
Yeah.
Queen, the
But
rest
if
of
someone was
Queen still
holding
wants to
out-
perform.
No,
Yeah.
when you're doing someone's voice and they're still alive.
Yeah, and it's just like, why are you doing his voice? He's like, because they didn't
Exactly.
want to pay me.
We got
you know?
the Kirkland version.
Like
bro. We
they're
got that-
doing new Looney Tunes cartoons on HBO. My daughter's been watching Looney Tunes because I'm trying to expose her to, good cartoons from when I was a kid, where cartoons were violent and shot and beat each other up, and wholesome shit. America. But obviously the original voice of Bugs Bunny is dead. Those cartoons are from the 50s.
Yeah.
So they have a new guy doing it now, and that's fine. That's fine to help a character live on, but I think that Hulu, who is owned by Disney, has the fucking money to pay this guy. Like,
Definitely.
he can't be asking for that much more than they want to pay him. But like I say, it's bringing up this whole point of like, so in your favorite movies you watch with real people, they can't just oh, that was Brad Pitt, but now it's not anymore. We got this other guy that kind of looks like Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
They don't do that on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So for voice actors, it's a little more fucked up, because you could be arguably as known as like the Brad Pitt of the voice acting world. But when I say the name John DiMaggio, you don't know what that guy looks like, do you?
No, and you know what? It's like, as long as somebody could nail the bender and it wouldn't really be noticeably off for me, I would enjoy the show the same. So if the dude's asking for more money and the studio's like, well, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro, we got another guy that sounds just like you, and
Yeah.
he's just
It's
going to
supply and
step in
demand,
and he's
yeah.
going to hit it.
We've got a supply.
I mean, and if they can't find that person, that makes this guy more valuable. If they can find that person, that makes them,
Yeah.
replaceable. So
Yeah.
it's like,
True.
It's kind of crazy, and then it's kind of a crapshoot whether or not the audience will actually be receptive to the new person.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that are like loyal to him because he's the voice of the show. Because he's the most
And if
popular
they
character,
lose
it's
those
saying-
people, the thing is they'll probably still pull more people. But I think
will.
they probably are really dependent on that core group, because let's face it, the show's been canceled 4 times or 3 times.
Yeah, 3. This will be the 4th time it comes back. I feel like based on how that show is specifically, the core viewers of that show that enjoy that show will be more principled about it, as far as like wanting him to get paid and supporting him if they don't want to pay him, and not watch the show. So I feel like it really will hurt the show in this case. There's a lot of shows where it wouldn't fucking matter. And to be honest, if you just watch Futurama casually and are like, oh yeah, I might check that out, it's new.
You won't know.
If I didn't tell you this and you heard a new voice actor that sounded enough like him, you'd never fucking know.
Exactly.
You know?
So then Ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance
Let's
is
get
bliss.
riled up about the politics behind it.
That's
right?
what that's starting a big conversation about how voice actors are treated in the industry versus regular actors, when arguably they're bringing just as much character and
how much
personality
handsomeness
to
are
that
you bringing
role.
to the table?
That's true.
That's what we want to know.
Well,
Haven't you
voice
ever heard?
actors don't have to be handsome.
Haven't you ever heard of a face for radio?
That is
So therefore, that comes with just a little bit less perks. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I'm just saying, Brad Pitt's making more than Howard Stern. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but that's just because you have an extra element. You're a good actor. You can do the voice, but then you bring the face. You bring the abs.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not having to hit the gym at 5 a.m. every morning to be, fit to play Bender.
Yeah.
Well, then, you know what I mean? You might get paid a little bit less because you could show up in your sweats.
Well, I got a burp on command, though.
It's like working from home. You're just like, you got to be able to burp. Bro, what? So you get to drink beer? That's fucking awesome, dude. Here's some spaghetti. Eat it real fast.
Yeah.
Here's a Dr. Pepper.
Do you guys remember when The Simpsons changed their animator when we were kids? And it was like everyone was kind of, it was like well into our childhood.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it was like much cleaner. And I remember my brother was like, the animation's different. And he was like fucking tripping about it a
Yeah,
little
they've
bit.
gone through a couple changes. They went through one change early where they switched to like a different animation studio and things got cleaner. And then when HD TVs came out, they switched completely to a new animation style that's more for HD TVs.
Yeah.
And I was watching some behind the scenes thing, and it was talking about just like how much more of it now is just like signs you're reading in the background and like visual gags that they can do in the background now because
Yeah,
they have
shit that's
because
like-
more real
before
estate in high
that-
def.
Yeah.
So it does look a lot busier than it used to when you had to send it over to Korea for the Korean animators to do it by hand and send it back.
Yeah.
They do it all on computers.
Because those old Simpson episodes were like very, they
Yeah.
looked way
But you
different.
never realized it was a thing until you saw the cleaner
Oh,
look.
when they cleaned it up
and then
made
when
the
it would go
characters-
back, you could instantly go, that's an old episode. You didn't even have to really know what was going on.
No,
It
you
was
could
like,
tell.
Yeah, right away.
Right away.
Yeah, it's wild, bro. They're like watching some of those earlier episodes because when you send it away to have it animated in another country for months, you hope everything is right. But if you get it back and something's not right, you just kind of have to rock with it.
Yeah, time is an issue.
Like there's a couple episodes of The Simpsons where Smithers, the dude that helps Mr. Burns, he's black in a couple episodes. He's got black skin because the animators colored him wrong because they didn't get the note.
That's
and
funny.
they're like, well, we can't pay to have it all reanimated, so we just got a black Smithers for a couple episodes. There's a couple of times
that
where,
adds to the
where
mystique.
colors are just off. Carl, the black friend that hangs out with Lenny all the time,
Bro, that
he's
might
been yellow in a
that
couple
might
episodes.
come back to them. I'm
Yeah.
just saying. In
Well,
this
they had
day
a
and
whole-
age, they might be like, oh, well, what you doing?
Why'd you erase Black Smithers, bro?
Why'd you bring him in?
Smithers
and then get
erased?
rid of
You
him?
created him.
2 days, like it's like, oh, it was an accident. Oh, an accident.
Oh, now it's accident.
It's a fucking accident.
Black skin is not an accident, bro. Yeah, okay.
I promise you, no black folks are gonna be like having a problem with that. guys.
They went through a big thing with the Simpsons because Hank Azaria, the guy that does voices for a lot of the characters, did the voice for Apu.
And wasn't it that one comedian that like he like did a documentary about what's wrong with
the problem
Apu?
with Apu or whatever.
Yeah.
And how a white guy shouldn't be doing this "thank you, come again" type accent. For
But then I just saw that there's a new guy that just dropped a special. He's the dude who like does the podcast with Brennan Schultz.
Mm-hmm.
Is that his name? Brennan Schultz? Right? Schultz?
Andrew
Schultz.
Andrew Schultz.
Thank you. I knew I was wrong. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait,
Schultz?
that's not right. Yeah, Andrew Schultz.
Okay.
So he does a podcast with a guy, and that dude just dropped a comedy special. And in his comedy special, he was joking, but he was saying that he didn't think that it was racist because he was like, man, this is the American dream. Apu, he was. But I get it that it was a white dude doing it.
Well, I've heard things like
But
that.
they were
though.
like, bring Apu back,
Yeah,
'cause he
he's
was
an
the shit.
upstanding businessman. He's like,
Is he out of the show?
he's not out of the show, but they're trying to figure out what they're going to do with him, or if they can recast him or do something.
So he's not
like,
in it, though.
Like on Family Guy, Cleveland was voiced by like the whitest dude you'll ever see. His name was Mike White. He was an old white guy, and they literally did a casting call to find a black guy that could do the voice of Cleveland. And now in the last like 2 seasons of Family Guy, Cleveland is now voiced by a black guy.
And it sounds the same?
Sounds the same. Sounds identical. You'd never know.
Fire.
But like because all this stuff was happening with Apu, Mike White on Family Guy was like, well, now I feel weird and like I'm in the headlights because of all this. Maybe I need to step down and find someone else.
Yeah.
And so they replaced him with someone that sounds
I love
identical.
it, dude. I love it. I love that.
Well, it's just these
goddamn.
things that we didn't realize maybe were a problem. In some cases, I feel like the gesture is more like symbolic than anything and doesn't.
Well, if you noticed, it was all the people were white. So really, what it really was is it was like Hollywood directors and studio, whatever the fuck, execs being like, well, I want my homie to do it. Oh, I know my nephew knows this guy and he's really good. You know what I mean? It was just bringing in people in that circle, and they're not going to reach out and be like, oh, well, why don't we cast this to get the most accurate representation of this person?
That's a new thing.
And it's how it should be.
That's just a new thing that's happening. Like, I mean, back in the day, that wasn't frowned upon to get.
No, it's because it's just like you have the internet, people can bring things to light, and you're like, wait, that is fucked up. But we just don't. When things are just put that way, and they're like, this is just the way it is, you just are like, okay, we accept it. But when people open your eyes to it, you're like, you're right. Like, why? Like, just it's really about the opportunity that opens up to somebody that wouldn't have that opportunity. Don't give it to your cousin or you keep it in that. Reach out of the circle. Let's find somebody that can really.
And the other thing in like both of those cases, like for Hank Azaria doing Apu and Mike White doing Cleveland, those guys do like 20 other voices on their shows respectively. Like Mike White's not out of a job. He's just doing other voices for Family Guy.
Yeah.
He still does like the pervert Herbert guy that lives next door, that whistly voice, and like a bunch of other characters. And like same thing with Hank Azaria. He voices like literally 20 other characters on The Simpsons. So it's like he's not out of a job. It's just now we got to restructure this stuff.
I love that.
The problem
that's
I think
why
that
it's
makes
such an
sense.
issue. It's just like just restructure it. Let's bring a dude in that's black, or bring a dude in that's Indian or whatever, like to actually give us an accurate representation. Then it's like you don't have to have a white dude that's trying to act like.
Exactly.
It's like you just have somebody that can really just embody that role and give it all the character and color that it needs.
Exactly. No, I totally agree.
And then you're giving an opportunity to somebody who, like you said, 20, 30, 40 years ago was not getting that opportunity. And now it's like, now they can be a fucking millionaire. Yeah. Now they can come up,
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I love it.
I feel like it did kind of get into the weeds a little bit when that all happened, because people were kind of doing it. Like there's a show on Apple TV called Central Park. It's by the same people that do Bob's Burgers. But it's about a family that lives in Central Park, and the dad is black and the mom is white. And the daughter she's light skinned. She's mixed. And Kristen Bell did the voice for her. She's a white girl, and she felt the need to step down. And in a situation like that, it's like, well, she's got a white mom. Like it's not wrong for her to be voiced. It's not any more right or wrong for her to be voiced by a white person or a black person in that situation, I feel like. Same thing with the show Big Mouth. There was a character on there that was also mixed, had a white mom and a black dad, voiced by Jenny Slate. And she felt like she had to step down and find a new voice for that character, because all this stuff was going on with Apu and Family Guy and stuff. Dude. And it's like,
it's a slippery slope.
Are you just making a gesture now because you feel like you need to? Because it wasn't a situation where people were clamoring for that character to go away like they were with Apu. She just felt like, from my personal standpoint, seeing this happen, I need to step down and made a statement about it.
And there's a way that makes this like it's not a negative thing. Like the Apu situation, like certain situations where it makes sense. And I see where people are afraid because, in this country, people go far this way or that way, and all of a sudden there's mobs coming after people and stuff like that. So it's just like, that's ridiculous. We all just need to be rational people using common sense. And I think the internet is great and terrible in its own right, just like the rest of this world. But it brings a lot of awareness to these type of things where changes can be made, and it's cool. And I think that things get thrown out, and then everybody gets to decide, and the majority wins, and that's democracy, baby.
That's it.
So let's get it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You guys saw that whole thing about Rogan saying the N-word, and my personal view on that with something like that is it's like it's all about intent. And so in a situation, I see all these people like, man, he's wrong for that, but we all know Joe Rogan's not racist.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I feel like Joe Rogan's not racist.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
I feel like he's not racist. I feel like based on things that he might have seen or the way he was raised or his environment, causes him to say certain things that he thinks maybe are like funny or he's been kind of taught a little bit incorrectly about that he could grow on. But I don't think he's like ever intentionally trying to.
But let me tell you
no
this.
black folks got a problem with Joe Rogan saying the N-word.
Let me bring
because
this
the
to your
intent is
attention now,
correct.
because I want to bring this to your attention. This is just a thought that I have, being a white person, being around white people who say racist shit when they're around white people and they're very comfortable, right? And I'm telling you that Joe Rogan said that he was like, whenever that word came up, I just decided to use the actual word instead of saying the N-word.
I respect it.
And I'm just saying that any person that has millions and millions and millions of people watching and they have that decision and they're like, no, I'm going to say it. If you're that comfortable being able to say it and it feels okay saying it. You don't feel weird about it.
Yeah.
It's not, you don't feel like maybe I shouldn't be saying this. You just feel just throwing it around. I feel like you probably also say it not on your podcast in other contexts.
I think that's a stretch.
Nah, I feel like
I would feel very uncomfortable saying the word.
Even repeating it
at
from
all.
I
You
know
know what I'm saying? I'll
context
be
matters
honest.
and context is important. I've seen clips where the context was fine. I've seen clips where, in my opinion, the context wasn't fine. But he's also a comedian. He's got to walk that line and decide if this is going to be funny.
I was
or
listening
not.
to the podcast one day driving to work, and I remember he said it, and it was like in a quote. Like, he obviously none of the times I've ever heard it was in an intent where he was like calling somebody or anything. But he says it, and I'm like, whoa, shit, okay. Cutting that clip together obviously is just saying, hey, like, you can take this for what it is, but Joe Rogan has said the N-word with a hard R this many times. And I mean, and Trevor Noah's argument was like, do you guys realize this whole time I've been saying the N-word and you guys weren't like, what Nutella? What is it? You know what I mean? It's just a respect thing.
Yeah.
Like, just, he's just saying, like, you can say the N-word, people are going to know what you're talking about. You don't have to say it, but Joe Rogan's not playing a character. This isn't music. This isn't Tarantino. This isn't, something like that. This is just a podcast where you're saying it. So, and then there was the Planet of the Apes thing, which you could just say was just a bad joke. Did you see that clip?
Tell me about it.
So that's when he said, he was like, oh man, yeah, we were talking to this guy. We were going to see Planet of the Apes. We were like, hey, is this a good neighborhood? The dude was like, yeah. He was like, oh, the guy didn't even fucking speak English. He let us out. It was an all black neighborhood. Dude, we walked into Planet of the Apes. We walked into Africa, dude. There were no black people.
Well, it was all black, no white.
Or no white people.
Yeah.
And then he, and then he dialed it back and was like, Planet of the Apes didn't happen in Africa. That was racist. Whatever.
Yeah.
And
so he covered his intent.
So there was like, but it was really like, he did just make a joke to make his white friends laugh.
Right.
Like, and his friends were wild.
My
So that
belief
was
is this. Racism isn't casually or feeling comfortable enough to say the N-word. I grew up with white people who say, what's up, nigga? All often. And so that's one of those things where racism is it's actively holding back because you do not want to see somebody of a different race excel. That's racism.
But wouldn't
in
you
my
say
brain.
Wouldn't you say there's levels?
Well, and I feel like you've been conditioned to accept that because that's what you grew up around with. And I'm not here to like advocate for you or tell you what's racist or what's not racist because only you can decide that. Yeah. But I feel like as society grows, that definition has to change a little bit because being okay with that and not looking at that as racist in a roundabout way, that action of that white person doing that over and over again and you becoming more comfortable with that does hold minorities back. It does. It absolutely does, whether it has malicious intent or not. And so I feel like in the Joe Rogan situation, he put out his apology video and said, I didn't mean it. It happened years ago. I thought he was trying to be funny and this, that, and the other thing. The thing that I think he fucked up with from where I'm standing, at least watching something like that, and you might not look at this as a racist thing because of how you grew up, but he felt the need to add the caveat, I know I said Planet of the Apes, and yeah, we were surrounded by black people in that area, but, we actually had a really nice time. I was surprised. We had a very nice time. And it's like, even now in your apology video, Joe, you're telling us you were surprised that black people weren't acting wild and that you actually had a nice time. That doesn't read as a compliment like you think it does. It's like back in the day when they used to tell black people you're so well spoken and things like that. It's like you shouldn't be surprised that a black person can be like a normal person.
And also,
You know?
it's all a condition of your environment. Like, black folks are racist on white folks too all the time, and it's not. But there's nothing we can actively do to hold back the white race.
Yeah, that's why
Does that
it's
make
like,
sense?
Yeah, that's why.
And so therefore,
that's why it's
we
not racist.
know that a conversation about if there's inside a black family, if somebody says something about, oh, that, you know, that's that old white lady next door, that don't mean nothing. But if you hear somebody saying the N-word, that's that you kind of what you were saying, that kind of may cue in a little bit of what they say when nobody's around. But the real active racism would be looking at a resume and seeing that somebody fills out that their ethnicity is this, and they move it to the bottom of the pile, which happens. That's racism.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't help that
agree.
family produce more of an income to level up than those kids do well, and it creates this family tree.
So maybe what I'm thinking is like, that's the, you know, obviously that's up there. I feel like there's levels to racism.
That's every day.
Well,
that happens every day.
And there's unintentional prejudices that just come from, like we were talking about how, you know, 20 years ago, Hank Azaria could do Apu's voice on The Simpsons. There's another clip of Joe Rogan, to bring him up again, where he says to somebody who is mixed, he's like, oh, that's great. You're mixed. You got a black mom and a white dad. You get the best of both worlds. You get, you know, the body of a black person and be physically fit and muscular, but you get the brain of a white dude. And you know, all that smarts and stuff. And that's the context he said it in. And that's fucked up to me, because you're straight up saying a black brain is different from a white brain, and that we're programmed differently, and that like white people are inherently smarter.
But I see exactly what he was saying by saying that.
And I understand that you do. And I don't think that Joe is even inherently trying to be racist by saying that, because he genuinely believes there's nothing wrong with saying that because of how he has been raised and the things he
I'm
has
going to be
been
honest
around.
with you.
Oh my God.
The opportunity.
The audacity.
The opportunity in my life was presented to me by a white woman. My father didn't have well off. My mom sent us to private school. So exactly what you're saying, and I'm mixed, it's exactly true. Like, you think about it. Yeah. My father worked at the Hampton Inn as a maintenance man, and he was a recycle man. My mom worked for the county, and she made a lot of money for, you know, worked as a roads inspector. With that money, she sent us to private school. So you talk about best of both worlds. I'm not saying it can't happen in an all-black family, but in this situation,
but what's true for you, isn't true for everybody.
That's true.
And to make a broad blanket statement, and
he was just talking to that one guy.
So for me, my thing about the situation is that, like, I don't really, like, people can obviously do whatever they want. I want to be doing my job correctly. That's why I need black perspective for me to just make sure that I'm approaching situations correctly, because I'm gonna draw my own conclusion, of course, but I need that perspective, because sometimes it'll just be me and my white friend talking about it, and I'm just like, okay, but you know, I need to know.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing:
what other people think.
If you wanted to know, and you were spitting a verse, and the N word came up, and you said it, you shouldn't feel guilty. If you're leveling up in life, and you have the opportunity to give a whole bunch of people a shot, and you move somebody's resume to the bottom because of how they look, you're fucking up. And so that small battle of dropping
You're
the
telling me
N-word.
you wouldn't think less of me if I was saying the N-word in my music?
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
I'll be 100% real with you right now. Cody, you still my friend?
Of course.
We've been friends for years?
Yeah.
You knew me in my Heme Team days?
Yeah, exactly.
You knew me when I was hanging out with Gary Poppins and Julio?
So perfect example. Did I hold any of that against you?
I don't think you did outwardly. I think maybe at the time it was difficult to hear from someone that you were hanging out with.
No, never.
Maybe you didn't hold any ill will, but like,
God, I want to know what happened now.
Looking back on those years,
it was about the intent. You really have to focus on the intent.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
I do
That's
believe that intent, and I do believe that in a world that we're at, people like, you know, sound
and that
bites
same thing works.
quick,
That same thing works for white folks being racist too. You got to look at their intention. Are they trying to offend somebody, or are they trying to make a joke? Are they trying to, you know? And I'm not saying all that's
I was
correct.
just young and dumb. I was like, 19, 20, and a kid from Spokane, a white kid from Spokane, looking for a reason to justify. Mm-hmm. I had my buddy who was darker than me, that moved up from California.
Who still wasn't black.
He's Indian, but he said said it a bunch because he grew up in the Bay, and it was like, oh, okay, well now we've got license to, because he's, oh, you gotta say it in your freestyles. We're freestyling. It'd be funny, like say it, and then it just turns into this thing where you're saying it a lot, and it becomes commonplace, and then you're hanging out with other people, and you're still saying it because it's part of the daily vocabulary. And it's like, I'm not ashamed to admit that when I was very young and still learning about the world and things were a little bit different, it would come out casually in conversation because that was just the people I was around and what was influencing me. I look back on that now and I'm like, I can't believe that was me as a person, but I'm glad I have people in my life that like you say, you have this hierarchy of ill will and intent, and you're not going to cancel somebody over mistakes they may have made a decade.
Some people may hear that and fight that battle, and they're like, yo, what the hell? Why would you say that? And a lot of people they're not even going to get close to fighting that battle. They're just going to be like, I understand your intent, and I'm not going to, I'd say 90% of people ain't going to say nothing about that.
Sure.
If somebody drops the N-bomb and their intention is, in Joe's situation is different and we're off that. But if you're like, for instance, your friend that you're talking about came up from the Bay, that was his environment.
Yeah.
I mean, basically what it comes down for me is I wouldn't dare let the comment or ignorance of somebody, even if they mean it in ill will, I wouldn't dare let that get aroused out of me that causes me to do anything other than what you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And where some people fight that battle, and the more time goes on, the people fighting that battle aren't black.
Isn't that something?
And so that's kind of what I'm saying. It's just like, if we're not, if people aren't, you gotta, like, real racism would be holding you back in a sense to not letting you and your family excel to where you're obviously, like, to where you're supposed to be.
Right.
Whereas the one that gets everybody riled up and puts everything in the mud is when somebody is spitting a verse from a black dude and the N-word pops up and they accidentally say it and everybody's like, oh my God, like what's happened with Rogan. And it's like, it's not like he was spitting a verse, but he never meant it in an ill will way. And it's like, yeah, some of it sounds, when they cut it into a clip, it sounds horrible. But when black folks, when black folks hear him say that on the pod, a lot of the time, it doesn't move our needle. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because we understand that his actions are that he put hella black people on, bro.
No, I totally agree, and it's nice to get that perspective from what you've gone through and how you view the situation. Because all I can do, like I say, is I just want to be a good friend and a good advocate for people. But it's not my cause. I can't be I can't be Kanye up there grabbing the mic on behalf of Beyonce, saying she should have won this award and shit. Like, that's something that you got to decide.
Exactly. And
I can remember. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just gonna say.
No, go ahead.
I can remember when I was working in the office. I had a coworker of mine. She's a very nice, well-meaning lady. She's very active and posts a lot. Goes to all sorts of social causes and donates and stuff. Sweet lady. She's in her 50s, white lady. But she got into an argument with my black coworker about how oppressed he was. And he was basically trying to tell her, like, yo, shit is fine. Like, I'm doing my shit. I'm handling my business. Like, I'm operating in this society in the way that I can. And she's like trying to tell him, like, no, but you don't see all the ways that you're oppressed. And like, you are oppressed. You are. And I'm like, I don't think it's my job as like someone who's supposed to be a good friend and an ally and support good causes and do shit like that for me to tell you that you're oppressed. Like, that's where it crosses a clear line. You know what I'm saying?
No, totally.
And that just made me feel like you are campaigning for all the wrong reasons right now, lady. Like, you're not.
Well, I feel like they say that a lot. I mean, it is just like a lot of white people that are way outraged.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's not. There's no brothers that are upset that Joe dropped the N-bomb a couple times. That's not a thing. You know what I mean? Maybe if you're young and you're influenced by white folks right now and like the whole race movement, sure. But like people who have their roots, they're worried about, okay, you said that, but how's that going to affect me? That's not going to affect me.
Well, and Joe puts a lot of people on.
Yeah,
so that's what he was just saying. Is
tons of people on. So you got to look at
which is more powerful.
Way more powerful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a
the only thing
it's a battle that you got.
I'm still not going to watch this podcast now, though.
The only thing that I am glad about, like,
that's a decision.
Whatever side of the Joe Rogan shit you fall down on, that's fine. Like, people are talking about leaving Spotify.
Dax Shepard, bro. Go watch that.
Other thing, my wife watches his shit religiously. She loves Armchair so much.
There we go.
And I've never listened to an episode, but I hear it's good.
I haven't either, but I want to.
I got no problem with Dax. know. We talk about other podcasts on our podcast. That's fine. But no, what was I going to say? I'm glad that it is bringing up the conversation of people just saying like, man, we've been needing to say fuck Spotify for a long time because they need to pay people more. Like India RE put it out one of the best ways you could put it out. She's like, you know, whether you agree with him saying the shit that he's saying or not, whether you think it's hateful or whether it comes from whatever context it comes from, here's what I can tell you. They gave him $100 million to do his shit. They gave Joe Rogan $100 million up front. They're currently paying me 0.003 of a penny for my streams.
And it's built on the backs of streaming artists. That's what Spotify is.
And they're taking all the money that they're making from our streams to pay Joe Rogan $100 million.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, the money that you're not giving me, you know what I'm saying? The money you're making off of me is going towards these things. How do you feel about that?
So she was like, regardless of what you feel about it,
The biggest,
Yeah.
The biggest mistake was doing that deal because now he has people that can hold something above him.
Yeah.
well, I'm just I
ridiculous.
mean, not to just keep going on about it, but I really just am like appalled that Spotify didn't like vet all his episodes better and be like, oh, well, maybe this
They're
would
still
might
pulling
cause-
episodes off. Like I just saw like 10 more episodes just got pulled off today. They're going through his whole back catalog. Like a Kevin Smith episode just
Like
got
you're going
pulled.
to give somebody
Some other episodes just got
$100
pulled.
million and you didn't even watch his episodes.
Yeah, you have no idea.
That's just wild to me, man.
is
Like, yo,
crazy.
bro, you know.
Well, I did want to mention, still in entertainment news, I just got like two other quick things. Speaking of all this, like, political divide and racism and things that we can do better. You remember a couple weeks ago, I shared a campaign video from a Louisiana candidate for Senate, our boy Gary Chambers.
Smoking weed, yeah.
Did he win?
Yeah, smoking a fat blunt. No, he's still fighting, but he's got another hitter of a campaign ad out that I wanted to share with y'all. I want to put this guy on one more time.
They said, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. But here in Louisiana and all over the South, Jim Crow never really left, and the remnants of the Confederacy remain. In 1873, when a black man named PBS Pinchback won a U.S. Senate race, he was never seated. They claimed election fraud. The attacks against black people, our right to vote, and participate in this democracy are methodical. Gerrymandered districts are a byproduct of the Confederacy. Our system isn't broken. It's designed to do exactly what it's doing, which is producing measurable inequity. 1 in 13 black Americans are deprived of the right to vote. 1 in 9 black Americans do not have health insurance. 1 in 3 black children live in poverty. It's time to burn what remains of the Confederacy down. I do believe the South will rise again, but this time, it'll be on our terms. I'm Gary Chambers, and I'm running for the U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Damn. Bro. That's way different than his first one.
What a hitter, bro. Are you kidding me?
Too extreme.
You think so?
I think burning
that
a Confederate flag
that was-
it's
In
just a little
Louisiana.
extreme.
In
You
Louisiana.
know, and I'm not saying that he won't get more people on what he's doing, but like, you know, he's obviously trying to strike a nerve, and he's gonna have.
Yeah, I support that shit. If he's
Yeah.
smoking,
He's having more.
Smoking blunts and burning Confederate flags.
I mean,
I'm
yeah.
about to move to Louisiana to vote for him, man.
oh
I mean,
god,
yeah,
but then
you
he's
know.
gonna lose, and then you're gonna live in Louisiana.
I mess with the message. Like if he had that first video and then also said that with something else, you know, like
He's trying to. He was with the burning of the flag. I feel like he was trying to get more views.
There we go. That's basically
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
He's trying to. That was the shock factor.
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah.
could have relayed the same message without that, but that was like the thing
Maybe that's
that was
how it
gonna
is.
get people to be like, okay, what's going on right here?
And this is all going on without like ever being to Louisiana, you know. So.
We're just some northern folks.
I gotta commend him for doing something different because we've all seen political ads, and if you've seen a
always
political
some
ad,
dude at a-
you've
Yeah.
seen all
Yeah.
of them. If you've seen one, you've seen them all. They're always the same. Like, hi, here's my family. I'm on a farm, or here's I'm holding my gun, or here's my dog, and it's
I'm
like,
holding my gun.
you know,
And even if you were a person of color, you followed that format.
And dude, and he's like, listen, I'm smoking a blunt. And I think that Louisiana, like people out here are smoking blunts right now. And we need to be getting that tax money.
Yeah.
So we can put it into these roads. Cause I got
let's
fucking,
legalize weed.
So I guess
Flat tires.
I see each one of his topics that are important to him. He gives you a visual and audio effect.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. I mean, he could sell anything. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's selling himself now. He could also sell fucking insert item. And he could do that with just causing that same effect.
No, props to him for making waves, man. That's really all I can say about it is it's a powerful message. So that's really right. And then one last little thing that I did want to throw out there. There's a very talented artist signed to TDE by the name of Isaiah Rashad, and he makes incredible music, and you should go stream it all. He's fucking awesome. That's it.
Nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cody Duncan, what's your deal?
My favorite time of the day. Yo, what's your deal?
Hey buddy, what's your deal?
Hello, everybody. Now's the time when we play What's Your Deal? We can do this for so long, but we need your help. I'm going to take my glasses off so you can see my eyeballs.
Always getting serious.
We need your help, okay? I need you to send pictures, and I need to be able to do What's Your Deal on you. Yes, you. Okay? Brendan, let's see what we got.
Let's go. Number 1. What's your deal?
I know this guy. Okay, so he's in the NFL, obviously. He has a good dental plan. So he has those nice pearly whites, with the nappy dreads going back. I would say he is are they supposed to be, these are players?
So let's do it like these are ex-players. Like,
Because
what is it?
I'm about to explain his position.
Like, yeah, do that. Do whatever you want to do. What their deal is with the NFL.
I know his position.
Okay, perfect.
He is a DB, defensive back, and I would say, he's not actively playing. He wasn't a star, or was he? I'm not sure. Zach, do you know who this is? I'm reading you right now, just by the way.
I don't think so.
Okay. He wasn't a star. He looks like he could, he smokes on the off season, probably lives in somewhere sunny, like a Miami or something.
If he doesn't play in the NFL anymore, what does he do now to make money? Is he riding off endorsements? I mean, if he wasn't
No,
super big.
he's on TV right now, so he's like a commentator of some sort. And but they would have him cut his, like he's a little scruffy to be a commentator, honestly. But yeah, he doesn't have a tie on, which is a red flag. If you're going to be on national TV. Who is he?
Maybe it's Friday.
So this is Deion Branch,
Okay, yeah.
Super Bowl MVP with the New England Patriots.
What was his position?
Played wide receiver.
Oh, he was the dude guarding. Okay.
Yeah, and he's Super Bowl MVP. Got traded to the Seahawks in 2006.
Oh, he looks familiar.
For a first round pick, and now he is his new job is he's the director of player development at the University of Louisville.
Oh wow!
So
he looks like he has a lot on his shoulders. I mean,
yeah,
He's a family man.
Yeah, he's a family man.
All right,
he's happy.
Yeah, next guy.
I know who that is. That's Joe Montana, baby. No, it's probably not.
No way, dude. That's the guy from Little House on the Prairie.
It's Michael Landon, bro.
I would say an old school quarterback who would like bust his knuckles up, throw him a ball, and stay out there. Fucking played for fucking Redskins? Can you still say that? What team is that team still there?
Washington football team.
Oh, now they're the Commanders. They're the Washington Commanders. They just changed their name like 2 weeks ago.
And they took that much time to think about
The
it.
Commanders.
He was popular. I mean, with celebrities, you just already know, right? Like, nice beard. I mean, he has to be a quarterback.
He's getting better with time.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. He
got that
still
scruff.
hasn't peaked. He's got a property.
That's like a screenshot of him in like a watch commercial.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's doing that.
He ain't playing football today, baby.
No.
What is he doing now? Like, what's he into?
Cannabis industry somehow.
He's got his own tequila.
He's invested. Yeah, exactly. A tequila or an alcohol of some sort.
Maybe some river rafting or like.
He is definitely like anti-mask right now.
Yeah.
It seems like he
just
could
doesn't
be like a guide. Like he could like guide you.
He spends a lot of time at
forest.
REI.
Yeah, it looks like he could climb something like a horse.
What's his deal?
This is John Riggins. He did play for the Washington Redskins.
Yes!
Oh my God.
He was Super Bowl MVP and
Quarterback?
Nope, he was running back. But Super Bowl MVP and oh gosh, they don't give me the years; they give me the numbers. in the 80s. And what John Riggins is doing now is he's a yogi, a vegan, a house husband, and he's so I guess you're close to like what maybe like he's probably smoking some pot.
A vegan yogi house husband,
and like
smoking.
He's softened up a little bit.
He's definitely smoking. And I'm guessing like it's always weird who's not wearing masks and who is. Like I feel like it's the ultra left that don't also wear masks. So like. Yeah, he's definitely.
Could go either way.
Yeah, he doesn't have to be ultra left to be a yogi. So, anyways.
Well, but then you add vegan
and
house husband. So he's progressive enough to
very progressive.
Feel like he can do the.
But very chiseled. Yeah, he was a bruiser running back in the.
Yeah, I thought this guy was an actor.
He was a full.
Yeah, I know.
He was a fullback.
He had multiple different options in this.
Yeah, he like played James Bond in the early 2000s, bro.
He chose getting hit in the head.
Okay, so next guy.
What's up, dog?
This guy looks very familiar.
He needs a haircut. Nice white tee, though. Has some texture to it below it. He's got a pea coat on with the collar flipped up. I like it. I'm going to say he's a safety. He looks like somebody who possibly could, he's not paid the best, so he's probably not a star. And I'm going to say he played for like the Green Bay Packers or something. And he's current. He still plays.
I'm going to say he played for the Lions.
Lions?
Well, what does he do now?
Yeah, what does he do now?
So he's retired?
You said, didn't you say
I
he's
think
current?
he's current.
Oh, yeah.
Are any of these people current?
Oh, that's right.
Some of them maybe. Yeah.
Okay. What is he?
Okay.
So this is Malcolm Smith. He played for the Seahawks and won a Super Bowl MVP with them.
Safety?
He is a linebacker.
Oh my gosh.
And he's still in the NFL, surprisingly. I didn't even know that. He's playing for the Cleveland Browns now.
Oh, man,
and,
good for him.
He's kind of a utility guy. He left Seattle after we won the Super Bowl and made some big money in Oakland, and now he's just still chilling in the NFL, making money.
Yeah,
love it.
trying to get to his
Been in it
the
for
pension.
Yeah, he's got it. He's been in for 10 years.
There you go.
So
and then you get
doing
that
it.
pension, which is, anybody know the pension?
Oh, I think it depends on how many years. It depends on I think you get
minimum though. I thought somebody said 500K a year.
Oh yeah, it's definitely the minimum pension is definitely around. I think it's like 550.
Can you imagine? You just stay long enough to get your 500K for the rest of your life, baby.
Yeah, every year.
How is that
Every
possible?
year.
Every
How do
year.
you get that?
Wow. You just got to be able to run fast and catch a
I'm gonna
football.
come with that
You're
pension
hitting the
again
head
after
for
this.
10 years.
And you get that
I know.
CTE gift.
Show me. Yeah, CTE gift.
Did you guys play
like you said
football?
earlier, ignorance is bliss, bro. You just don't worry
Oh,
about
I
shit
did.
like
I
that.
loved football, dude.
Did you?
Because
You
as soon as I
loved
got,
hitting and shit?
If I got that ball, you couldn't get me.
I know.
I'd be gone, baby. I'd just cut off.
But you were padded up. You were playing tackle.
I play cornerback.
Oh yeah. See, I could totally
Cornerback.
see that.
I like to
You
defend. I like to run backwards and then just run after them and try to defend the ball. That was always so fun.
I played, and in the first 2 years, I was kind of a pushover. And then as I got a little bit older, and I realized I'm not gonna play varsity. Like I was that junior who was still on JV, and I was like, I'm just cracking people in practice. And I would just crack people. One of those, like in drills, because I never got no PT, And so, and that's how it is though. Like you people will know like, oh, I'm going to try flat back Cody, So you just start cracking them.
Dude, I love still playing, dude. Even the flag leagues and stuff. I'd love to
That
play.
shit would be
dude.
fun. Get in a rec league.
Just because at this age, we just happy to get out and be running.
Right.
Softball. We should do a softball league. That'd be fucking awesome.
Softball would be sick,
I
bro.
would love
Yeah.
softball.
I'm at that age. I'm ready.
All right, next guy. What's his deal?
That's the refrigerator. Or what's his name? It's Jerome Bettis, baby. Playing for the Steelers. No, see, I know it's not him, but I felt like that'd be funny if I went in on.
That is a big dude.
Yeah, I'd say he played for the Lions, like what Mike said earlier. Fucking some old school football team, obviously in the 70s. He was a defensive tackle. He didn't take no fucking shit from nobody. He's solid. And right now, he fucking, with the way he got that sponsorship in the back and that nice collar and the watch showing, he's doing some sort of motivational speaking, talking to the kids. But I mean, he's still chiefing. Look at him. he'd rather be somewhere else.
Yeah.
He don't want to be there right
Yeah, he's
now.
there for a Q&A briefly. And then
Yeah,
he's out,
yeah,
bro.
he's out of there. Look, he's already getting up out of his chair.
He's definitely getting paid to be there and getting some getting some money for it. Do you want to know who this is?
Yeah, I do.
This is Doug Williams. He was a quarterback for the Washington Redskins around at the same time.
Quarterback?
Yeah, this is a quarterback. This is the first African American quarterback to win the Super
You
Bowl.
say
quarterback.
Quarterback.
Really? I
Quarterback.
can't see
Wow,
it.
first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl?
Dude,
Yeah.
he's just a
Wow.
stocky
Fucking
quarterback.
congrats,
Hell
bro.
yeah.
He is.
That dude
big for
ain't
a
going
quarterback.
down.
And he was a good quarterback.
Don't
for a
tackle
time.
him, son.
But
Don't
yeah,
tackle you.
You can't.
He won in the 80s, and what's he doing now? Doug Williams he's a senior advisor to the Washington football team, the Commanders now. He's hanging out in Washington and still
Getting paid?
getting paid by them
that
because
pension and-
I think he won the Washington football team, Commanders, Redskins, whatever, for he won them their first Super Bowl. So that they usually stick around a little bit.
Yeah.
You know?
Nice.
So yeah, that's Doug Williams. Here's the next guy. Who's this guy? Do you know who this guy is?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Mark Rippon.
Dang it.
No, that's fine.
What's he doing now?
He's making that girl happy.
He is.
Whoever she is, she loves that dude for sure. You guys have been up to the casino and seen that little clothing store that's to the right of the casino. You guys ever been in there? And it's like native,
I've seen it. Yeah, I've never been in there.
that's where he got that shirt. That high quality wool, you don't gotta wear nothing underneath that. It keeps you warm. It shakes off that's a nice shirt right there with those pockets. And he owns a car dealership, I think. Does he?
No.
No,
He does not do that. No.
I thought maybe he got into. I thought he was a car dealer after he.
He's a yogi and a house husband.
No, or the weed industry or something.
she's
Something
the yogi.
left field for after he got out of the NFL. I believe.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, this is not great. He plays golf all the time. I helped him make a podcast for
That's
6
right.
episodes.
That's where I saw the face.
And he just plays golf. That's all he does. And he's really involved in CTE stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did he you said CTE stuff? Yeah.
Concussion.
Did he go through that? Did he?
Yeah,
Okay.
majorly. Yeah, and actually, that's his ex-wife, and this is from this is from an article in Spokesman or about,
That wasn't
about some DV stuff.
Is he? That wasn't her choice.
Is he gonna be all right?
That wasn't her choice.
But
to
he's
split up.
doing great now. He's doing great now.
He's like, I'm just golfing under the Arizona sun.
That's what's up.
Last one. Here we go.
What's up, bro? He played back in the day when you had those leather helmets. Those little soft, leather
the soft
helmets.
leather helmets.
And it looked like you didn't know what the fuck they were doing. They're just running around throwing the ball.
Bro, how you can give him an easy one like
He
that?
was
That's Tom Brady. Everybody knows that.
He could be a punter or a long snapper or he's played on special teams. He was obviously a star though. He's trying to, he's standing for the limelight there. Yeah, I don't even know the teams back then. This is hard because I don't know football.
Yeah.
Who is he?
That is Bart Starr. He won the very first Super Bowl, and he was Super Bowl MVP. And he passed away in 2019. But
What was his position?
he played quarterback. Sorry,
Who's quarterback?
Who's the babe?
I'm guessing that must be his wife. I don't know.
Damn,
She got a nice grill.
Yeah, she's a cold. She's
teeth-
quite a bit younger.
Those teeth are 28.
Yeah,
They are.
And he's doing nothing now. So yeah.
yeah, she's only
There-
49
there-
right there.
Well, there you go. That was
Okay.
the put together Super Bowl edition. These are all Super Bowl MVPs. And
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
yeah,
cool.
that was the theme of it. And yeah.
Did we already? Who do you guys got for the Super Bowl? We already go through that.
No, we haven't. I'm
Dr.
going
Dre.
to say the Rams are probably going to win, but I'm going to go for the Bengals.
Me too. I love the. I'm always
Underdog.
gonna go underdog,
I'm underdog.
in any fucking.
Yeah, me
So
too.
I want to see the Bengals win. Hopefully it's a game. You guys know when I don't watch.
Yeah, you
a lot
know,
of
like
football.
when like the
I can't stand
like
it.
when the Broncos go to hike it and it ends up in their end zone and the Seahawks score right away and we demolish them and win the Super Bowl. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fucking amazing. I love that type of stuff.
I'll take that every
Where
year.
it's like a
I'll take that every day.
Right? Just an easy little cleanup. Done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
like
can just
it. I
quit
like
at
it
halftime.
Suspenseful.
You watch
yeah.
the halftime show and you just go home. You know, you're just
You
like, yeah,
like
we
that?
saw it. It's like 40-0. It's cool.
Yeah, that's
No,
awesome.
you know what I don't like is when we're watching it and everybody's grooving. A Seahawks about to win that back-to-back Super Bowl and they throw an interception in the end zone and we lose the game and then everybody just puts their drinks down and walks home depressed. And it's,
I was
it was like this.
We were so happy a minute ago.
I know that was.
Let's go,
It's
guys.
heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And then that
some
was
years be
painful.
like that.
Yeah, but you know when you're watching someone else's team do it, you don't. It's not so much on the line.
Yeah,
so,
nothing.
You know, we're just
It's
like
about the commercials and the snacks now and that halftime show.
yeah. And then, but I see in that sense, that's why when I'm watching two teams that I don't care about, a good game. I like a good competitive game.
That's I agree. I totally agree. I like just because I mean you don't have anything invested.
Going back, we're going to
entertain me,
overtime.
baby.
We got fumbles. We got interceptions.
Yeah.
We got people doing
bad
laterals.
calls.
When people are doing laterals, I'm like, okay, dude, it's getting like
Now
when,
we got a game.
when they're doing fake field goals and fake punts and shit. I'm just like,
Best.
okay,
The
now we're.
best. Or
Yeah.
a couple lineman fights where they hit them and they hit each other in the chin real quick.
Ooh,
Because
yeah.
they really can't hurt each other unless they
Well,
catch that little soft spot right there.
Who was that band? Who was that? Cam
Newton?
No, for the Seahawks.
Chancellor?
Oh, Cam Chancellor.
Chancellor. Remember, he would jump the line.
Oh,
yeah.
and then
And
that
then
next play, he was like, "I'm doing it again."
Yeah,
and he
he
jumped it
jumped
again.
it again.
And that changed. I remember after that, you saw people doing it, and then they just squashed that. They're like, "You can't do that."
I mean, dude, see, they have to be like one of the most progressive football teams. I mean, just from like doing that type of stuff to like even just
Russell
in just like Marshawn Lynch and how he'll just be like, I'm just here so I don't get like just that.
Yeah.
Remember that whole
whole
time,
energy.
all these things. The Seahawks were just bringing all this type of.
Oh, side note,
dope
I did
shit.
want to mention this. You mentioned Marshawn Lynch, so I got to mention that. For shit to watch, there's a show on Netflix right now called Murderville, and it's starring Will Arnett. He's like from Arrested Development and stuff, but it's basically a scripted show where it's a detective trying to solve a murder that works out of a police station. And Will Arnett and the rest of the actors in the police station all have a script, but they feature a guest every episode that has no script and no idea what's going on. And they just have to like learn as they go and try to act their best. And Conan O'Brien has an episode. There's a couple other really funny people.
I saw the Conan
but
O'Brien
Marshawn
episode.
Lynch is on one of the episodes where he's the featured
I haven't
guest.
seen that one yet.
And he's so wild, bro. He's like, I want a name for the show. I don't want to be Marshawn. I want to be like Detective Bag a Bitch or some shit like that. Like he's just saying like the most outlandish shit. And the people that are supposed to stay on script have to kind of like keep up with him almost.
Yeah, he's
So,
throwing
yeah,
them off.
Definitely check out Murderville if you're a Marshawn Lynch
Dope,
fan.
dude. That sounds like a more organized version of the Eric Andre show.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that. I just think the concept is wild. How it's like a scripted show where everybody knows what's going on except the one guest.
And then they all have to solve the.
Yeah, they have to find out who the murderer is, and like they actually have to guess at the end of the show. Like
I think
based
that's
on
cool.
everything that I saw, I think that this guy did it or whatever, you know. So
Did you guys watch Pam and Tommy?
I've seen the first episode.
You've seen the first episode. I've seen the first episode.
Crazy.
I saw a little bit more, so I won't spoil the rest of it. But it's
You guys gotta watch it.
it's really good. Good show, right?
Yeah, it was
You got
good.
Seth Rogen in the beginning. Like when I love me some Seth Rogen.
Yeah, I felt for him so bad because I've been on like sites like that. Like I used to paint houses and do shit when I was younger, and it's like that sometimes where people keep making demands or keep making changes, and if you come back at them with too much shit, they're just like, fine, I'll find someone else to do it then. You're not getting paid at all. Fuck you. Like I've been on jobs like that where the guy's like, oh, I can't pay you guys now.
Dude, he was such an asshole too.
You know?
Yeah, that was tough to watch. Where he was,
But
just
then
like,
he
was like,
came
"Dude, we
back
can't
through.
fucking move the bed." Like,
Yeah.
He came back out that he pretended to be the dog and shit.
yeah, that was funny. Good show. It was a good show. I mean, it definitely had me wanting to see the next one.
And are you guys familiar? Like, I mean, I know that we were all young. We were all probably like 10, 11, 12 years old when the actual, Pam and Tommy shit was happening. But I mean, I remember seeing the sex tape. I remember, and I didn't really obviously know Tommy because I was in my generation. Well, I didn't listen to Motley Crue.
No, I didn't really listen to Motley Crue.
but-
Just, like I knew of him as like a wild guy with a lot of tattoos that I saw on TV occasionally, but I didn't like know who that was.
Like MTV or some shit
Yeah,
every once in a while. But really, I knew who Pam Anderson was.
I intimately knew who Pam. I've seen way more episodes of VIP than I care to admit. Remember that show?
I don't think I've seen that.
Oh man, so is
In Baywatch, was she on Baywatch?
Yeah,
she's on Baywatch.
That's where she got her start. But there's another show where it's like 3 girl spies that like have to solve crimes and like do like
they're all hot.
fake flips and stuff.
Is this like 90s?
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah,
But not as hot
What's
as
it
Pam.
called?
it's called VIP, and it's got Pam Anderson and 2 other lovely ladies from that era that are fucking. Yeah, I used to
Love
love
it.
shows like that. Like, did you ever watch Fastlane?
No.
Fastlane was one of those shows that was like it had Tiffany Amber Thiessen from Saved by the Bell.
Oh, yeah.
But
Big
she was
fan.
like prime, bro.
I was a big
That was
fan.
like prime 90s, like crushing years for me, man. But yeah,
Yeah.
Palma my Henderson, bro. That was the joke back in the day.
Palm my Henderson.
Yeah, like who's your girlfriend? Palma my Henderson?
we would say stupid shit. When we were
Yeah,
kids,
so way stupid shit, bro.
Creative, though. See, that's the thing.
And I kind of feel bad because she is like vehemently against the Pam and Tommy show. She's like, I'll never watch
Pam?
it. I didn't authorize it. I don't like this old shit being brought up. She's like, my whole thing was everything got fucked for me because then
Wait,
they only
so
knew me
she
for the
didn't
second.
get paid for this?
No, didn't get paid for it. Didn't sign off on it. Doesn't disavows it completely.
Well, now
Says-
I don't even want to watch it.
I know, right? I know.
For real?
How did
tough.
they get away with doing that?
Yeah.
Because it's either been enough time or like fuck it, you know.
No, but how can you use somebody's likeness? Like, how could you make a movie about with Islo Matisse in it, and that's
Well, maybe
a
the
character,
agent signed
and
off
you're
on
not going
It
to get
could
paid?
be that her team or her agent or whoever owns the rights to whatever.
It's like, yeah, use it.
Yeah,
You know,
and-
Pam will be fine.
Because a lot of that shit happens.
no
where it's-
check?
No.
There's
Where-
got to be a check.
A lot of that shit happens, bro, where you're like
No
reaching
check?
out as a courtesy to say, hey, are you cool with this?
Could
And
you
if
not
they say
sue
no-
Hulu? Like, dude, this is my likeness. Unless I guess you sold your likeness.
Yeah.
You did.
Well, and in a situation like that, it arguably becomes like, okay, well, whose story is this? Is this the story of
Well, you
Pam
have a-
and her sex tape? Is this Tommy Lee's story?
You're
Is this the
using
story of
my-
Seth Rogen's
but
character
you're
who
using
had
my
the tape?
name, Pamela Anderson, Pamela Anderson,
Sure.
Pamela Anderson, over and over and over again in this name, which is that's the reason people are watching it. I feel like she had to get paid, or she'd be suing them.
Something.
I have the answer for you. The reason why they can use her likeness is because they're using someone wrote an article in the Rolling Stone in like 2017 about this whole sex tape scandal, how it happened, and that's what this show's based off of. And so since that's public, so Rolling Stone can sell that story to a movie producer or production company, and so they can use their likeness. The celebrities can still sue them and try to gain
Like a civil something.
yeah.
So
But
get some type of money.
They can
for
get
it.
some type of money from it, but like there are,
and they probably will win.
but like yeah, I think so. As long as there's nothing, I don't know about
Well,
that.
and they
Depending on
should-
what contracts
They
were
should,
signed.
bro.
and-
Even I was reading about something that happened with. Did you watch that Netflix show Queen's Gambit, the chess show? Okay, so really good show if you haven't seen it. But it's about this girl
very
who's a chess
boring.
champion back in the day when there wasn't any girls playing chess really.
yeah, it already lost me. Yeah.
I loved it, bro. She started doing hella drugs and shit. Like I really enjoyed
okay.
it.
Brock, I'm back on.
Bring me
I'm
back
excited.
on.
It's more than just chess. I'm excited for season 2, but it featured some real characters from real life in like that were like actually part of that. Like I don't think this
That are alive.
Yeah, and so they basically position it like she's the only female chess player and she's beaten all these dudes. And there was only one other female chess player at the time, but it was debated that she wasn't as good as this girl was because she never played chess against any dudes. And that girl was real, and she beat like 50 some odd dudes or something. And she was like, no, fuck that. They're talking shit on my name. They're saying that I never played against dudes. So she sued Netflix and actually won money because just a casual throwaway line in this show that's mostly fake said that a real person didn't do some shit that they did. And I would imagine if you're a chess champion, that's probably really all you have in life.
Yeah.
So if someone's talking shit on like your one big accolade, you're like, no, fuck that, bro.
No,
Like,
you're going to correct it,
put
and I'm
some
going to get
respect
some
on
money
my
for
name.
this.
I'm getting money for it. So
Wow,
props to
that's
her.
interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Got $5 million from Netflix because
$5 million?
It's from one line in the show. They literally said in the show they said she never beat any men, and she beat men. And from that one line being in the show, $5 million from Netflix.
Well, good for her for watching the show. She watched the show and she caught that.
Yeah. So it can happen.
See,
So I would imagine
one little blip and you could miss $5 million.
Yeah, Pam needs to put that show on.
She needs to put that show on.
I mean, y'all misrepresented
Pam, you're
me.
not going to watch this, but put the show on.
I hope you watch this, Pam.
Yeah.
I hope you're doing okay.
If she ain't watching Pam and Tommy, she ain't watching this.
That's right. That's right. She says she'll never watch it, so I don't know. You got any other thoughts, Brendan?
I don't got any thoughts. Do you guys want to? Did we talk about it last week? The song? Do you want to shout out?
We mentioned that the song was coming out, and then it's out.
Oh yeah, because you played it. He played it on there. The song is out. Go play it again.
Yeah,
everybody.
please go listen to "Happy to Be Here."
And it's sunny. It's sunny in Spokane right now. It's February 12th, if I'm not mistaken, on Saturday. It's probably 2:00. Blue skies out there. Blue skies. It's gorgeous. We're gonna go smoke a blunt.
Let's get out there.
We're gonna go stand out there and let that sun hit our face. Go listen to those Matisse's releases. And everybody, please do not forget to send in. If not yourself, nominate somebody. Nominate your sister. Nominate your coworker. Nominate. You probably want to get permission from them. You don't want to just snap them and go. We don't want any lawsuits. Speaking of lawsuits, right? So just make sure that you have consent. Send it on in, and we're going to tell you what the deal is. You're going to get shouted out on the podcast, and I'm going to almost guarantee you that Cody will get at least 75% right.
Hey.
What the hell your deal is. He can tell.
If you submit to What's Your Deal, if we get a picture from you for What's Your Deal, we're sending you a sticker.
Okay, there we
You're
go.
getting a sticker, bro. Guaranteed. So if you got a picture, got somebody and want to submit, we got stickers. They're beautiful. They're holographic. You can put them on your binder before you go to first period.
To the phone case.
Or whatever. Yeah,
they're very clean.
They are
nice.
very clean.
So yeah, send us a
Sweet.
picture for What's Your Deal. You'll get a sticker and we'll shout you out on the podcast.
Dope.
All right, guys. Thank you, as
Thank you,
always,
man.
for taking time out of your day to be here.
Thanks for the milk.
Brendan, thank you for looking things up for us and being awesome as always. And guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I love you. Peace.
We out.
Yo, I'm just happy to be here, breathing this fresh air, living my best life, even when the shit ain't fair, even when the love ain't there. Yo, I'm just happy to be here, smoking some good weed, not thinking what could be. I'm just here in the right now, doing me till it's lights out. Yo, I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, cause I know that shit could be worse. So what I spit in these verses gon' make some history first.
Show 'em I'm happy to be here, I'm living my best life.
Yo, you living without fear,
You wonder what that's like
like a breath of some fresh air.
Yo, I'm just happy to be here.
My favorite time of the day was your deal. My favorite time of the day was your deal. Was your deal.
We give Mike all the sound bites that he needs.